If you've ever been stopped at a four-way stop and just waited for somebody to make the first move, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Are the memes dead? Well, we're going to check it out. Got 13 in the back. Got some money to make. Let's roll.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Good morning, everybody. Great to see a whole bunch of people returning here today. Seahorse, EKS, Junior, Dees, Jane, Reggie, Bernhard, Gary, and everybody else. Welcome back to another edition of Live Trading. It's great to be here. I'm going to bring on my main man, 13. 13, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm just trying to finish up my notes here for the ones that are moving. We got a lot of sub $1 movers this morning, but I'm not going to be really paying attention to those. You guys can trade them if you want. I want to do the ones that are above $1.
Yep, same with me. I know FFIE already being mentioned in the chat. We'll see. FFIE, big gainer yesterday. That's what I do. I drink. Gotta love the shirt there. I drink whiskey and I know things. It gets even better, it turns out. So, okay, let's go ahead and talk about the market. Now, the big thing that everyone was waiting for here today was the CPI. We got it. Market popped as high as 527. It's come back into about 526, got 525.93 here. If we look inside, you can see what that CPI print did. So far, so good. We're holding. The big thing here is that now we've popped above the all-time highs. So the next thing for me on the SPY that I really need to be paying attention to, or that I really am going to be paying attention to, do we close above these all-time highs, or did we just kind of pop above and then we move back lower? If we do move back lower, I think that actually sets us up to trade down, but we'll see. Gone against me several times here so far, so we'll see if that ends up working. I'm not positioned for this move. That's something that I'm going to check out here today. I will say in the middle of the day, I am actually traveling here today, so I'm not going to get involved in anything that I need to babysit or need to check on because I will be unavailable to do so. 13, what do you see here on the SPY today?
I think you pretty much covered my thought on it. Just kind of want to wait and see how where this goes. Even if we open above or below the all-time high, we still have some time. We could trade down, even though I think that might be unlikely. This was kind of going through the CPI report and trying to get an idea of what's still causing inflation and what's not. Devil's in the details, as we've often talked about in happy hour. I'm still seeing that a little less than 2/3 of the market believes that 50 to 75 basis point cuts are still happening by December this year after the CPI print. So it's, in my mind, I'm trying to wonder, where are we going to see those cuts? Is it going to be one big cut? Is it going to be a couple smaller cuts? We keep getting this, these narratives changing all the time with every economic report comes out. I'm sure the next one that comes out, it's going to be, let's go back to rate raises. So it's you've got to kind of take this a step at a time and see where this market's going to take this, and then I can probably identify some levels and kind of tell you where I think it could go next.
Okay, will do. Lynn says, flying Delta again, good choice. Indeed, I am. Last time that I did this on the same flight, the flight was delayed longer than the flight. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. I would like to get on with my afternoon, but that's also one of the reasons why I canceled happy hour. Just because I don't know, and I don't want to promise something I can't deliver on. Okay, good stuff there with the SPY. Good stuff with the print here. The will this hold? Really, that's kind of the question. Will this hold? Will the gains hold, or will we actually trade lower? Now we do have some movers here today, but we also really want to check in on some of the short squeeze stocks. Looks like, or I guess the meme stocks is what we're calling them. Let's start with that here. We're going to start with GME. So to my eye here, looks like the meme craze may be over. Now, I will give you a caveat here. The last time that this happened, there was a period where after that initial run, GameStop really kind of came in, and I said the same thing. I said, boy, this has gone really far, really fast. This might pull back, and then it went to like 300. So I am no stranger to being wrong with this particular call. I'm definitely going to be monitoring these stocks here for chances to trade today. But as our chat and in particular Jay Rice said yesterday, the easy trades are probably done at this point, and it gets a lot harder from here on out to trade some of these names. So we'll see. Looking at this chart here, GameStop loses 40. I think we sell off some more. It's not a comment on the company or anything that's going on. It's just a comment from looking at this chart and looking at the recent price action. 13, you got any thoughts here on GME or the meme stocks as a whole?
I was up early this morning and I saw that there was a little bit of movement in GME, but not enough to take us to new heights. So I really don't have too much of an opinion on these meme stocks right now. I think, they're just going to do whatever they want. They're going to react how they're going to react. If you're trading this, just identify previous levels and understand that the risk you're getting into. I'm more concerned with the ones that are just moving temporarily today. The meme stock craze, it's just not for me. I was traded that last time it happened. I'm not interested this time.
Okay. Real good stuff there as well. Jay Rice saying 34 trading halts between AMC and GME yesterday. I can confirm that actually. If we take a look here in the signals tool, AMC 22 halts, GME 16 halts. That actually gives me 38 halts. But just unreal. And that's exactly why, I always say I don't really like trading these halt fest stocks. Doesn't really do anything for me. Anyway, we'll see here on GME. AMC, same boat here. This chart formation actually looks the same. I also saw some news here about an offering, or I saw it on CNBC earlier this morning. Can't really find it in here. AMC Entertainment to issue Class A stock in exchange for notes. So AMC down 10% here. We'll see if these end up catching a bid. I'm certainly not looking to short these. I'll just say that right out of the gate. Even though if I think that these are moving down, I'm not really looking to short them. A short scalp, maybe if the setup is juicy, but these stocks are crazy. And as 13 just said, they can do whatever they want. So I feel like if I were to load up short, it would immediately spike. It's just how it is.
Here's a fun little stat for you. Those halts, when you combine both of them, nowhere near, well, no, we're not saying nowhere near, but not as many as the number of halts that we got from First Republic Bank and Western Alliance Bank back in March last year when they were.
So you did look that up. Kudos to you.
Well, Kudos Tim, one of our folks in Happy Hour Chat, did some research too because we were curious.
Yeah. So the most trading halts for an individual equity in a single day
was actually FMCIU back in February of 2020. I think that might have been a special acquisition company. I want to say for Tattooed Chef, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that takes care of a lot of the meme stocks. The other one, I guess, that's worth just mentioning here really quick, SPWR. It looks like I typed the ticker in wrong there. SunPower here, the stock down 20%. It's had a big fall yesterday from the pre-market highs. Looks weak again here. So SunPower looks like this one is probably giving it up too. Okay, now as far as some newer issues here on the movers tool, we do have a couple. First one here is going to be ticker EDBL. This is Edible Garden. This is one that we've traded before. You can see here, this thing is really ripping here, up 89.9%, up 90%. Edible Garden shares trading higher after the company reported Q1 financial results. So this thing looked like it traded up towards 9, couldn't quite get there, but so far using the VWAP as support, and this is curling back again. So we'll see if we break those highs and make a run towards 9. You got anything here on EDBL?
Yeah, they are reporting earnings, and they are saying that they have a 27.6% year-over-year revenue growth. So some of these headlines out of their earnings report has helped them push this up. They do have a 546,000 share float, so that's really low, helping this move it around. They also have a pretty significant short interest, though I'm not sure if I think that's more because of the reverse split they did last month on the 5th. So not paying attention too much to the short interest, but this does check those boxes for very low float, recent reverse split, and earnings that has some significant headlines that are help pushing it up.
Okay, so EDBL volume looks good here. Levels look good here. Price action looks good here. This might be one of the trades. Don't forget, as soon as the market opens, I will flip over to the Trade the Pool broker to actually execute trades. The stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool and can be a very easy way for you to get above the 25K day trading threshold, or simply get more dry powder by getting more buying power. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick for Market Sniper, he was asking if they've done a series of reverse splits. They've done 2, according to the information I have. The one that I just mentioned was the 1 for 20 back on April 5th, and the one before that was on January 26th, 2023. It was a 1 for 30.
Okay. Good stuff there. There you go, Market Sniper. All right, next on this list is going to be AWIN. This is AWIN. This is another one that we've seen off the relative volume scanner and or the movers tool gap list in the morning. AWIN, this is Airwinds Technologies. This thing popped as high as 550 and has retraced at least 80% of that move. I see no news here. This looks to me like just kind of a small stock that's just kind of on a volume pop here. You can see as the stock started to trade up, that volume really turned into selling volume and this thing got completely muted. So what we've seen with some of these types of stocks and this type of action, you really want to confirm that this stock has made a bottom. And if you start to see that volume creep up and expand, then there may be a possible play here. Shout out to Smoke Tuna and some of the rest of the group that use MACD. We'll use that on Trade the Pool as well to determine if the bottom has been put in and if this is a possible buy spot here on AWIN. You got anything on AWIN 13?
This wasn't one on my scanner, but I can tell you right now that this is another one of those low float movers. It's got 684,000 shares in the float right now. Don't see any significant news here on why it's moving. Other than that, as far as reverse splits go, they did one last month on the 2nd. It was a 1 for 100 reverse split. And that's really the only information I've got on this as to why it could be moving. Just easy to push around.
Okay, Larry H says AWIN might do an offering. Watch that on any of these names. Again, day trading only here for us. Next here is going to be DLPN. This is Dolphin Entertainment. Dolphin Entertainment shares are trading higher after the company reported year-over-year increase in Q1 financial results. This did popped as high as 180, came back in a little bit, holding right under its VWAP. I could see the EPS numbers, excuse me, here. EPS looks better on both ends here. So pretty good for DLPN. You got anything on this one, 13?
Yeah, they also had earnings, and they reported year-over-year record revenue. So those kind of words will capture Algo's attention and help drive this up. This has a 16.4 million share float. Now, I don't know or recall. Maybe somebody can, some folks can help me. Was this one of the NFT names that moved back in 2021? I want to say that it was, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, they also. I mean, I don't really have anything other than that. They haven't done a reverse split. They actually have done splits. And that's really all I've got on this one. So if anybody can help me out with reminding me if this is one of the
Zoltan says yes. Zoltan, okay. One of our very sharp researchers on our news desk team. Zoltan, good morning. Great to see you.
So I'm thinking maybe some of those names might be surfacing too, since they followed the meme stock craze. So, it could be just a repeating pattern.
Okay. Really good stuff there. Next on the list here is going to be ARQT. This is Arcutis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Arcutis Biotherapeutics. Shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q1 financial results. This actually popped above 11 before bleeding back some of its gains here. It's doing a good job holding 9 so far and looks like it's trying to take out that VWAP at 964. We'll see if this gets the mo. The one thing that I really want to see pick up here on the open on this particular name is going to be the volume. Volume seems rather muted here. If I take a look at the movers tool, I've traded 1 million shares here so far this morning. On average, the stock trades 3.7 million. So I'd like to see this really kind of increase once the market actually opens, once we get that opening print.
This one wasn't on my list, but this appears to also be squeezing too, because they do have a pretty high short interest.
21.12% of the float shorted. Is your short interest there? 6.1 days to cover.
So I think that kind of checks the boxes there for short squeeze, along with the earnings helping push that up. Now the float is but the float is 93 million shares, so it's bigger than some of these other ones that are easier to move around. So I don't know if this is going to how much this will squeeze, but I'm pretty sure that that's what the big movement here is, the squeezing of the shorts.
Okay. We'll see if this rolls over, if this gives us a long side trade. Next here is going to be BCAN. This is ticker BCAN. This is gapping up just a little bit. This is $1. This was in penny territory just a few days ago. Don't really see any fresh news Excuse me. Don't really see any fresh news here. This is obviously related to the cannabis sector. You got anything on BCAN?
No news on this one. They do have an 8.75 million share float, and they also did a 1-for-190 reverse split on March 22nd. Aside from that, I'm not really sure why this is moving.
Okay. WISA, this is another one that's popping here on volume. WISA is a common one for us to trade here. I think at this point, most of this room has traded this at some point. WISA is popping here. We did have some news here. WISA Technologies, to host the first quarter results, excuse me, that was it, secures a 5 e-license with major brands, 3 additional global brand reviewing agreement. First WISA e-enabled products to launch in the second half of this year. That's obviously driving this here up 10%. You think we get more on WISA?
I don't know. I would have thought it would have moved more on that than we've seen this morning. So I'm not sure. Maybe it gets picked up later, but I think that there's might be some tired trading here with this one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Did you have anything else on your list that we should cover here before we take tickers from the chat?
I looked at Open, and they apparently got a UBS rating, and they are presenting at a JP Morgan technology conference. But aside from the short interest, which is 12.74% with 5.65 days to cover, they do have a very high float. So I'm not sure how much we're going to get out of this one, but this was the only other one that caught my attention on my list of scanners or list of stocks this morning.
And that might make it a little bit easier to trade, right? We might not have as quick of a move, but perhaps easier to manage, easier to find entry and exit. So
probably
stuff there on Open. Okay, did you have anything else you wanted to cover? We got about 10 minutes left here. I did see some tickers thrown out in the chat here by the community. Anything else you want me to bring up real fast?
Let's go ahead and see what they have for us. Let's find let's cover some tickers. The only other thing I can think of was that whole transportation sector going down. I'm just thinking of what could have caused that, and the only thing that came to mind was the tariffs. I don't know if there's anything else there, so I thought that was interesting. But other than that, let's talk some tickers.
Okay, Dow Jones Transports yesterday down, UPS and FedEx down with them. Okay, let me run through some tickers here from the chat. Enron. I don't think that's a ticker. Sundial. This is one of these. Yep.
I think he was comparing Enron.
Yeah, no, it was just in all caps, and it was the first thing I saw looking for a ticker, and I was like, well, that can't be.
Gotcha.
Sundial here being mentioned. Sundial, this is obviously related to the pot sector. This had a nice little pop yesterday and some volume, so maybe a move here on relative volume if it appeared on some scans last night. It is up a little bit here, fractionally here in the pre-market. Volume less than impressive so far. Don't really see anything going on. 232,000 shares traded so far here today. Not really anything going on. We'll see if we get a move here, but I don't see anything yet on Sundial.
Yeah, I think maybe 250 would be a good spot for some support. We lose that, then I really don't know what to think about this one.
Okay. Jay Rice says Mullen, huge quarter, did 33K in revenue for the quarter, lost $19 a share. My 7-Eleven did that in one day. Okay. Well, I think that you probably don't need me to pull up the chart then. Okay. Let's see what else. BSFC, Blue Star Food. This is a penny stock. This is a 9-cent stock. Okay, so you guys that are looking for pennies, sounds like you might have some here. Stock was 5 cents yesterday, 6 cents. And was 11 here today. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to trade this. I will completely avoid this, but this up 57% if you're looking for a gap around a penny stock.
I don't know what the. I was just looking at the news headlines. I
thought you were
here.
just like, I'm not even going to comment on this 9-cent stock.
I won't be that mean, but for this one, it's I think the last big piece of news is their Form 10, their annual report, and I don't think that's really moving this right now. So I couldn't tell you what it's going on.
Maxon, this is Maxn, excuse me, ticker MAXN. This is Maxion Solar Technologies. This is up here a little bit. This actually looks down from the close yesterday, though we had a pretty decent day and some pretty decent volume. Really, if we want any carry through here, we're going to need that volume to pick up. Don't see it here yet on Maxn. Crow saying, in my opinion, red to green setup potential for a multi-day move. So there you go. Crow, you've been hot recently, so worth noting here. We'll see if we get that move. Honestly, a breakout above 4 is what we need to get this rolling.
On Maxon?
Yeah, MAXN.
Yeah, the short interest is crazy. So yeah,
50.93% of the float shorted and 5.5 days to cover. We do consider that high around these parts. So maybe this is one of them that will get it rolling. But again, we're going to need volume for that to be the case.
I don't know if that's wisdom high. That's pretty high.
Well,
what's the next? Is he around? Where's Wisdom at?
I don't know. I don't know if he's here yet. Might be a little too early. Okay, I'm trying to catch up here. It looks like Riot and SoFi were names that people wanted to take a look at. Riot, this is a good one. 13 and I in the pre-show fist fight today, we're talking about Bitcoin. It's popping here on that CPI print. Yeah. It's clearly trading up here, and that might actually energize some of these Bitcoin names. So Riot, Mara, CLSK. Riot here, this pop looks very much like the pop on the Bitcoin chart. This does look like it's maybe rolling over towards its VWAP. We'll see if we get a tradable setup down there on Riot. You got anything on Riot here?
No, I'm just like looking at all the Bitcoin names. I think that as long as Bitcoin moves, they're all going to move. So it's the ones you said, MSTR, maybe some of the smaller ones if you want to trade those, but yeah, I think these are all on deck for trading today because we should see some movement around in Bitcoin today and these stocks. Even the ETFs. I think I saw IBIT was also up pretty good this morning. So there's a lot of things to trade with. I won't stick on any one name. If you know of a Bitcoin name, it's likely going to move today.
Real quick, Jay Rice, PanW, one of my favorite stocks here. PanW can easily get going into earnings. CrowdStrike, that is ticker CRWD, was 284 2 weeks ago and is now 330. So Jay, you're looking for maybe similar type performance here on PanW. Looking at the daily chart here, this actually looks pretty good. This to me sure looks like this wants to move higher here. 320 is definitely going to be some resistance, but that's still 15 points away. So we'll see if PanW can get rolling here. I like this. I like this one. Actually, let me see if I can flip over to my chart that's got the moving averages on it, because this thing has done an absolutely great job with its 200-day. We are kind of butting up against the 100-day. Let's see if we pop through that. We'll see what earnings does here on PanW. Good stuff there, Jay.
I wonder if we had a lot of weakness in the cybersecurity sector lately, because I remember that these things are hard to trade for one. But
yeah, they sure are.
I know that we have had some weakness. I just haven't been looking at the names lately. So how is it looking? Have they pulled back and looking like they could be reversing? Or I'm just asking because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the theme here is that this one could kind of trade up into earnings, but I'm with you there on the pullback 13. It seems like, even the last time this thing bounced after its earnings, which were poor, really just kind of sold off pretty quickly. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there for some of those cybersecurity names. Do you play any of those? Have you played any of those recently? I can't remember.
No, I haven't added anything new. No.
Okay. SoFi was another one being mentioned by multiple people here. SoFi did pop briefly above yesterday's intraday high, wasn't able to hold it. So we'll see if that 765 level comes back into play here today. Bex was saying he's seen some chat on Reddit about SoFi. So maybe that gets kicked up today. We'll see how good that catalyst actually is. What else did I miss here? Nicholas, you're talking about Monday, MNDY. This is Monday.com. They reported earnings here. You could watch this one for a potential gap and go. I'd use the 9 EMA on that one.
It boosted guidance.
You guys are more than welcome to trade penny stocks. And certainly there's no rule about discussing them or anything like that. I'm just letting you know, I generally don't give too much credence to stocks that are, under 10 cents or whatever. Okay. What else do you folks want to take a look at? I'm looking across here. Looks like Apple's given up some of its gains. Looks like let's take a look at Tesla here. This is always gives us a good day trading setup here. Tesla popped on the CPI, bled back to VWAP. Let's see if we get a move off this VWAP here today. UXIN. It's had a recent move here, and I don't really know what this is, though. You didn't give me any context there. Investment holding company. Yeah, I don't really have anything on this without any other context. Chart doesn't look great on UXIN.
Okay, so what kind of investments? Because we have been talking about some investment companies, poised to do really well if they're well positioned in some of these AI names that haven't IPO'd yet. So I'm curious, what are they, what are they investing in?
That would be the first thing to look up here. Okay, real quick. Wisdom is here. Wisdom is awake. Got puts on SoFi. I don't know if you heard your joke earlier.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. All right. FFIE was mentioned here in the chat. This one, obviously a huge mover yesterday. This is, I guess this is what you guys are trying to tell me. This stock was 9 cents yesterday and finished at 27 cents. Today it's 61 cents. So there you go. Some of these penny stocks can have huge runs. Let's see where this finishes, though. I think that this probably rolls over. Sally mentioning that BNR did a reverse split today, 13.
Okay. Well, thank you. It's going to be on my radar.
There you go. We will take a look.
See this one move.
We got less than a minute. Let's see what's on the scanner here in the pre-market. FFIE, BITX, one of those ETFs, an ARQT, Reli, which is a penny stock here, BCAN, which was on our list. That looking like that's going to take out a high here. SEC 13.
Sure, no problem. LGVN, we got 10 seconds. Hope he comes back in time. LGVN, I'm sorry. This is moving because they had earnings yesterday.
All right, sorry about that.
And we're open.
All right, that was good timing. We are now open. Sweet.
All right, how we doing?
I'm going to flip over to trade the pool and just get ready right away. Get ready right away. There we go. Take this off. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. As you can see, I marked off that channel in Mara. Mara's going higher here. We'll see if it breaks that to the upside here. I've got that at exactly $19.
Take a look at the broader market. I want to see what SPY does out of the gate here. I mean, that
somewhat
formation.
Muted. Apple ripped out of the gate. Bitcoin also trading higher out of the gate here.
Yeah, the formation, on a lower time frame and intraday time frame does look like it's pretty good. These pop-ups, dang it. Looks like it's trying to break out of this flagging position here. That would mean that it's going to try to break 527, where we shot up to this morning on the CPI print.
Okay, let's take a look at some of those meme stocks. GME looks like this is going lower here, lost 40. So GME going lower. Let's check AMC. Actually, AMC so far doing a better job holding this 6 level. That's early, but that so far is working here. Or at least that support is working here. Around Apple still ripping out of the gate here. Tesla giving up its pre-market move here. So here's your Apple chart. Tesla totally rolling over.
Okay, so that's 2. They all seem like they're up though on the day. Just you say that they're coming down though.
Yeah, they're coming in from their highs. Gotcha. I know that you were saying you wanted to watch the broader market. I guess I'm watching some of these names that trade with the broader market.
Oh, come on. Those names are the broader market.
That's right. You got that right. CLSK, this ripped up to that 1669 area. Let's see if Mara ended up on. Yeah, Mara did. So we finally punched through 19. Let's see if we back test this 19 level. Might be able to go higher here on Mara.
EDBL halted. Yep.
EDBL halted to the upside here. Okay, I'm not going to call any of those early halts. GME halted to the downside as well.
Put some.
Oh no, excuse me. I beg your pardon. GME bounced off that pull and is now halted to the upside. Boy, we're gonna have a repeat of yesterday. 41.78 the high here on GME off that bounce.
I don't know where we can really.
A win maybe. This is a little bit spread here, but this is trying to make a move back to that 396 VWAP.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to put in some levels for EDBL. I guess 950 would be the next target that I have. based on previous price action.
Man, this AWIN here, this feels like it's going to go higher here. This spread kind of really opens up. Yeah, it goes from like 17 cents to 4 cents. This certainly feels like this is going to move higher here. 370, the spot to break here on AWIN. There it goes. There it goes. The spread's keeping me out of this, but looking pretty good so far here on AWIN.
AMC halted.
Is it really? Okay, I was wondering if that was going to start moving and halt. Is it really halted? Indeed. Trading halt. That one to the upside, it looks like, on AMC.
Well, I mean, it looks like it might be, but the way it came up and then came back down, I wonder if that move back down in the same candle that I'm looking at, the 5-minute, was, all in the same, was the reason why, like, it just came down too much.
Yeah, and actually looking at Benzinga Pro here, halted at 933.11, if that helps you at all.
And CTMT was also halted as Danielle was mentioning, and Market Sniper.
And this was a mover from yesterday, so we'll see if we get another move here today on CTNT. Back saying it seems like a down halt there. Okay.
Yeah. What else?
SMCI trading higher here. Post the CPI print. How's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA also going higher here. Apple really pulled in off that initial pop there. Now struggling with the VWAP. Tesla went red. So green to red move here on Tesla as it continues to move to the downside. Mara back tested its VWAP. Let's see if Mara can move higher here.
All right.
They're coming back into the VWAP.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, you're probably seeing a whole bunch of, what is the IWM doing right now? If you're seeing a bunch of penny stocks going crazy, it's because the whole theme on rates is back on the table. So risk is on.
SPY's up to the high, by the way. Mara lower now. Wow, that was a little fake out move there.
AMC halted, EDBL halted, CTNT halted, GME halted.
A lot of halts here. CHCI halted.
Yeah, some of these names are just...
Yeah, don't see we so halted, says Jay Walker.
No, it was me. He remembers. That's a good one.
He remembers.
He remembers. How's that one doing, by the way? Let me go look at MESO.
AWIN did punch through that VWAP. That worked here out of the gate. Little bit shaky or nervous on taking that one with the spread there for a day trade, but this ended up working. Good stuff. Good morning, Born. It's great to see you, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing well.
It looks like MESO is just not moving. So yeah, it could be MESO halted if it wanted to.
AWIN probably has halt potential here on the huge move.
Bitcoin looks like it's going to 65K. Okay, this looks like we're going to hit it.
ARQT still struggling with its VWAP right there. We'll see if that moves higher here. How did Monday do after that earnings print? Monday, this holding higher here. We'll see if this ends up moving. BMR, that was was that the reverse split? No, that's Beamer. This is one that we've traded here before. What was that? What was that reverse split ticker, Sally? EBS, what a surprise. That's continuing higher here. SPCB, that was another one that was moving around this morning. Looks like that's trying to recapture its VWAP.
I thought BMR was the reverse split that she was talking about.
Was it?
No, BNR.
BNR. See, it was close. It was close. Okay, how's that doing here? Really no movement to speak of.
Yeah, EBS still pushing up. Where does this one go? I don't have an upside target for that one.
Edible is open. Let's check on Edible here. Ticker EDBL. Did that open and move down? Indeed, halted again. EDBL resumed and halted. Oh my goodness. 20 seconds. That stock, EDBL, was open for 20 seconds before it re-halted here. This is a downside halt on Edible.
Yeah, we're seeing IWM start to really move down.
Nash Trading, good morning, man. Great to see you back here. Pan W, we were just talking about this in the pre-market here. Pan W, Jay Rice was saying earlier, thinks maybe this could kind of run into earnings, very much like CrowdStrike did. Pan W, best in breed, right now flirting with that 100-day Nash, but we might be able to break above this. Let me know if you're going to trade this. Would you hold this for earnings? Are you bullish on Pan W enough to hold a position through earnings? This looking good here this morning.
Market just experienced like a bit of a pull there.
Yeah, it sure did. And some of those, Tesla, by the way, still pounding the lows here. So Tesla's still rolling over and moving to the lows. All selling volume on Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great day yesterday. So
Netflix also fading here. Netflix looks like that was a green to red move on Netflix. Nash, you're only trading that up to earnings. Okay, so you're trying to do the same thing Jay was mentioning, kind of a trade into earnings there, upside move into earnings. I like it.
Tesla might find some support at about 173 and 75 cents. That's I would say that's a peak from yesterday in the morning, just before we opened.
Okay, here's 174.75. Looks like it's trying to slow down here. Lion Atlas says, get ready for big downside. What stock are you talking about, Lion?
If he's talking broader market, bring it.
Yeah, that's what we've been waiting for. Looking around here on the Twitter streets. See what we can find.
All right, Tesla going down some more, coming up
It
to that
sure
level.
is. Another leg down here on Tesla. AWIN right to the pre-market highs. Bourne says it's coming. The question is when. Am I right, my man?
Yeah, we want that correction. I want that correction.
Indeed.
I would love for this market to go higher, but we need to correct first. We need to kind of cool off before we get hot again.
Makes sense to me. CrowdStrike here having a decent day. CrowdStrike, this was mentioned along with Pan W. Jay, CrowdStrike continuing its move up here.
EBS is open. No, I'm sorry. That it was always open. I was thinking this is halted. There's a different one.
Synopsys looks good on moves down to 500, says Jay. So they actually bounced almost 70 points from that level. Tesla is trying to put in a reversal candle here. We'll see if that holds. VKTX trading up here a little bit. Lion said he bought more GME puts, so it looks like you're trying to trade GME to the downside here. By the way, after that bounce and that halt up, GME did roll over and lose 40 again here. How's AMC doing? AMC resumed. It lost 6, but it's not breaking down here. We'll see if we can reclaim 6. If it can, 650 is your VWAP possible upside trade there in AMC. Rivian getting mentioned in the chat. Basim, great to see you this morning. Hope you're doing well. Wow, there's a big move down here in Rivian.
Tesla is bouncing, and the bounce spot is 173 and 70 cents.
Indeed. I had 173.46 marked out, and it looks like it's bouncing from there.
I was 5 cents off. Dang it.
I'm going to need you to tighten that up.
I will have to tighten that up.
Just kidding. That's a really good call. Awin's still flirting with those pre-market highs.
Well, let's see if this... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's see if Tesla can even actually turn around here. I mean, we did get a bounce, but it needs to turn around and come back up. Maybe maybe there's more of a bear flag forming here over the next 15 half hour or so. We'll see. But yeah, that bounce is it's moving up off that bounce pretty nicely right now.
Yeah, DJAF is correct. GME halted to the downside here again. AMC still open. ESFC, was that the penny stock that Wiss was mentioning earlier? Looks like that's still holding here right about its VWAP. CRKN released the Kraken. That was another one of those penny stocks. Not moving much here. Carvana getting a mention here in chat. This has been, you want to talk about a squeeze, man. I mean, we were talking about those vending machines not making sense back when this thing was 40. Actually had a gentleman on the happy hour come in and say, hey, he's hearing through his network, this thing's going to squeeze to 80. Here we are at 122. Let me check the short interest on Carvana. It's been a minute.
Still high.
Is it wisdom high though? 31.04% of the float shorted, 8.62 days to cover. Indeed, that is high.
And I think we're supposed to be getting a new release here pretty soon of the short interest.
Yeah, we are.
So we'll see how much that's been updated.
Yeah, actually, let me ping on that. Just give me 1 sec here. 13.
Line analyst mentioning MP. That's MP Materials. Man, you've been on the materials thing lately, and you haven't been wrong. Got a high short interest. This used to be a SPAC. I actually liked this one back in the day. I'm sad to see it down this low in price, but yeah. So 21.4% short interest, about 6 days to cover.
I'll be right back there. I'm sorry about this. Let me just get some of this information here.
Oh, I see that benchmark also maintained a $30 price target on MP Materials and gave it a buy rating, or reiterated a buy rating.
Let's see. What else are you folks looking at? Reddit getting hit on AMC and GME. That would have been expected. It's nice when several of these stocks move together here. Oh, Reddit. Yeah, that is hit here. 57 looks like next target here. 13 LILM up a little bit here today. That one that you were watching, I can't remember.
Yeah. No, it's I'm in it.
Oh, okay.
This was the
from
one.
A happy hour. Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Real quick. This is an eVTOL company in Bavaria. They are going. They're going to be presenting their full model eVTOL at this trade show for aircraft. I'll have to look the name up for you, but it's happening later this month. And I picked some up when it was $1 because I thought that might be an interesting sell the news event. So I'll hold into it, see if anything happens with it. I'm up 21%. And I already took half off the table because they had news that they have, I think it was like 10 or 20 aircraft on order to be built and sold. So at 8 to 10 million a pop, that's a pretty good, order for them to get. So it moved up on that news. I'm just going to end up selling later this month anyway. So I don't know if this is worth getting into now, but been working out pretty well.
Yeah, nice little slow gainer there. By the way, GME is open. Looks like this is trying to move lower now on GME. Lion Atlas, you dancing on the table yet, Lion? I know that you were buying puts on this right out of the open.
Just get that information for you. It's eBase 2024, EBACE 2024 that Lilium will be at. And they have some speakers speaking there as well. So
okay.
Might see some more orders come out of that. That would be great. But
SBUX is still successfully defending 70, although I think inevitably this rolls over.
What happened to Disney? It's crashing.
Yeah, Ramis asking about Disney here.
I think it, the thing that we've been talking about with this one may have finally caught up with it. The whole theme of, you're not putting out great content. You're not listening to your audience. You're creating, political identity stuff that nobody wants to see. And I think they may have said something yesterday. Let's see here if there's any news, because I thought there was some news yesterday on their streaming service and their content. Let me double check for you. But
news here. Disney's Iger says marketing expenses at Disney Plus are too high. Disney will invest in Disney Plus technology, cut marketing spend. Remember, we got a news print yesterday that Disney, Apple TV, and Netflix are going to merge with Peacock and be part of at a vastly reduced price. So Disney here taking it on that. Also says Disney says streaming will be a double-digit margin business. Disney doesn't expect traditional TV unit to be a growth business. So that's the news that we have here from this morning. Disney looks like 103 is where it's trying to hold right now. We'll see if that holds here. Disney. Wiss mentioned an IPW and Crow laughing at it. IPW, this one actually decent. This took out the after hours highs. We on it. Let's go, Wiss. Edible halted again, huh? We missing the halt. That's Edible halted to the downside here too. How's ARQT doing? We took a look at that one here this morning. Okay, ARQT through the VWAP here looks like it's on a bit of a curl. ARQT, you got it, Aramis. You got it, Aramis.
Yeah, a lot of these names just kind of coming in.
How's GME doing still? Lows. Is this halted? Did this stop trading? Let's see. Yeah, GME halted to the downside again.
How are the
YTEN looks like this was just resumed.
How are the other big names doing? Still seems like the only two that are having trouble are just Amazon and Tesla. I guess Amazon would be having trouble because, I mean, I guess tariffs. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, Amazon really moving towards the lows here.
Yeah.
Amazon's been on a pretty decent run recently.
Yes, they have. Since October, they've been doing great.
Disney, by the way, broke through that 103 to the downside. Rick says, I think I'm taking my 1,100 from Edible and calling it a day. Hey, man, you started out with an $1,100 profit before lunchtime. You're doing something right, Rick. I think you can pat yourself on the back for that one. Good stuff.
I wouldn't fault you for it either. This market is not looking great at the moment. So, I mean, if you want to leave and take what you got, not a problem. You do you, man. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just, we had that great pop and then the market's like, okay, well, now let's go back to bed.
AMC halted now? No, that's still moving here. It's still moving here. The Lion Atlas says, why are they halting GME? Just let it go to the ground. Man, cold-blooded Lion Atlas just out here.
Stock Profit had mentioned that Roaring Kitty posted on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to report that it was formerly known as Twitter. I'm pretty sure that everyone knows that.
It's just that, even I hate having to say X.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't like it either. I like saying tweet, retweet, and tweet. I don't know. I don't really care. I know.
Nobody says I'm Xing like they're crossing a street.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not. I'd feel weird saying that, honestly. NVIDIA moving lower here as that loses its VWAP. Taisha Gene Therapies, this moving higher here. Looks like maybe this could take out yesterday's intraday high.
Daniel Torres asking about AT&T. What's the question? I mean, where is it headed? Because let me take a look. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I need some more context there, Daniel. Jay Rice says, Mullen, you want to read something funny? Read the earnings report. Wouldn't you cry? I feel like that would be a sad thing to read, not necessarily a funny.
I guess it depends on if you're in it or not.
AMC casually drifting lower here. See if any of these memes catch a bounce.
I'm not sure.
Rolling over.
I'm not sure that AT&T's going to get too much higher. The upper shadows it's putting in right now don't look great, and the formation you have here is, looks more like a bear flag. It would seem to me, and I'm not guaranteeing anything, it would seem to me that this goes lower, sometime this morning. I don't know what's going to happen with it the rest of the day, though.
13, you're going to have to wake up pretty early in the morning to get one past Randy and Lynn Williams, or Lynn and Randy Williams. You still say ex-girlfriends, 13. You are saying ex. Oh, gotcha. They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
That's fine. They can have that one and I'll eat it.
Nah, that's Randy. Randy's always got the sense of humor cooking early in the morning, and I can appreciate that. And as someone that loves to start their day off with a laugh, let's go, Randy.
It sounds like he had his coffee, so I'll cheers to that.
Awin, by the way, this one was the move here today. We had this flagged. The spread kept me out of it. This was the winner. AWIN was the winner here. Reclaim of the VWAP, step 1, pre-market high, step 2. Now we're just kind of pushing highs, trim into this move for sure. JJ, why is AWIN running on no news? Because that's just how some of these smaller stocks work. Volume here is telling the story here today. That much volume, that thing's going to move out of its price range. And it is today, that volume is buying volume and it is moving higher. To give you an idea here, on average, AWIN trades 211,000 shares throughout the course of the day. So far today, at just shy of 10 a.m., stocks traded 10.5 million. So when there's just that much volume, the stock's going to move. And this is why you always hear me say volume is important. It's all about the volume. You know, if I was talented like Weird Al, I might recreate It's All About the Benjamins with It's All About the Volume and then put a whole bunch of stock jargon in there. I mean,
he's still performing. You should hit him up.
I should hit him up.
Hey, I think he'd do it.
I got an idea for you. Be like, listen, kid, you have any idea how many ideas people have been giving me over the years? Get out of here. Scram. I could see him saying scram. He's a scram sayer for sure.
The thing about AWIN, and this is interesting, I was reading that what they do. They design and develop manned and unmanned craft low altitude airspace. I wonder if this is kind of on the eVTOL thing, and the fact that they have very low float is definitely helping it, and it's really moving. I don't know what is moving it today, but it seems like there's something going on here with this one as it relates to the eVTOL space. That would be my guess. And
a good guess, but to your point, 13, I don't see any news in there. Right. So good theory though. By the way, LIDR spiked here on volume. I think this is halted. LIDR spiked into a halt here. I don't think I see anything fresh here. Big move though. This had earnings yesterday after hours.
Well, let's see. I mean, it's probably not the short interest.
Tony's all over that. Tony, I hope you hit LIDAR. That's a good move there.
I mean,
IPW, WIS is looking for, well, I guess WIS and Crow looking for a 145 break to the upside here. Ticker IPW.
Oh, excuse me. So was LIDR lower this morning? It doesn't look like it. I mean, it was lower, after the close because they had earnings.
Yeah. So it moved. So the initial move here, we'll just do it visually. The initial move here on LIDAR was higher. It did end up selling off and going lower. Now in the pre-market today, it held its low from yesterday. So I see the why is it moving here. AI shares are trading lower after the company reported worse than expected earnings. Well, that is true, but this volume seems to have changed the story. Now, when this opens, let's see if they retrace some of this candle or if we make a move towards that 3 level.
AI, this company, LIDR, announces partnership to bring LiDAR solutions to China. In the light of the tariffs, I wish them luck.
Nick saying, Ryan, you could always X at Weird Al. So, Nicholas, bonus points here for tying 2 discussion items together into a joke. That was well done. But yeah, I'm not going to hit up Weird Al on Twitter randomly.
Bitcoin only
AWIN halted. AWIN halted here. Sorry for interrupting you.
Bitcoin only made it as high as 64.7. So it couldn't get to 65. All the Bitcoin names rolling over at the moment. Looks like EDBL found support from the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. Coming back up to VWAP.
AMC, another move lower here. Lynn and Randy, Tesla bouncing here. You're watching for entry. I appreciate that. That's an early call here. Tesla does look like it's kind of slowing down that selling pressure around 173.5 here. Nice little bounce. Got the VWAP here at 175.5. You're going to get your $2 move if this holds here. Really good shout on this one, Lynn and Randy. You guys have been all over this ticker, and this looks like this might work. We'll see. Good luck on that trade.
Need EDBL to get back above 7, or I think this might go lower.
750 is the VWAP too. That'd be a pretty good spot there.
WISA, WISA. I'm not sure if Alyssa's going to come on here and go, what? But this one's moving up too. After selling off this morning, found support from the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, which was at about just under 4. Now we're pushing up into the 4.5 handle here, but it's putting on some pretty ugly top wicks. So I'm not sure how much more there's going to be in here in this move.
Palantir's bounce stopped here at its VWAP, but a move through that might give you a trade. AMC, are we getting reports of this being halted? AMC halted to the downside. It's down almost 50% from its pre-market high here today. Where's GME holding it at? Same deal. Tesla not putting that bounce in just yet. Apple, however, showing some more strength here. Apple to the highs. See if we set some new highs here in Apple.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look and see if there's anything setting up, getting ready to go, and it just looks like I'm catching the end of things moving here.
Yeah, but in fairness, 13, with the exception of AWIN, which had this prolonged move that is now into an upside halt, everything else has been very, very short-lived. I guess the only other one that's still kind of working here is IPW. But I mean, all of these other ones were really short-lived. I'm sorry, I keep running.
Sorry, no, I was jumping in there before you were done, but I was just saying I've only done one trade today. Just not seeing anything that looks good to get into at the moment that won't, make me regret it. But yeah, you guys trading AWIN, that seems to be one of the better ones this morning.
Yeah, indeed. AWIN looking strong here. And we'll see when that opens here. Let's see. AWIN, that's got to be soon here, right? That was 55. Yeah, so it's either, if it's a 5-minute halt, it should be open about now. But if 10-minute, we got about 5 more minutes on this one. AWIN 816. Disney continuing to move lower. New lows now on Disney. Wow.
Christoph, you might not be wrong. The candle that I'm looking at on the 5-minute for AWIN, that's a pretty toppy looking candle. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to reverse and go lower, but it would make me nervous if I was in this. I don't know where AWIN goes, to be honest, but I just don't like the way that last candle is on the 5-minute. It doesn't look good.
FMC lower here today.
Yeah, maybe we'll get an opportunity to pick up some more of that if it goes under 62. And AWIN is open and it went lower. Getting some support though.
Yep, getting some support right at 7, right at the bottom of that big candle.
And it's turning positive almost.
Here we go on AWIN. This thing's got new highs now on AWIN. This thing has got all types of strength here, folks. Wow. $9 now. This thing maybe making a run for 10. AWIN, very low float.
Yep. That drop got bought right back up.
Sure did, man.
Right back up. What are the implications of an 80% short interest? It should be a very sizable move if enough people notice it and pile into it, squeeze the shorts out. I mean, which one are you looking at that's got that so that we can put it on our radar?
I said earlier this one can halt, and it looks like that might be what we're doing here. Cattle higher, CADL. ENVX, this is one that was moving yesterday. This moving to the lows here.
Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't look. Oh, FFIE. Okay.
FFIE Faraday. That was the penny stock here. This is lower from the pre-market, but not giving it up yet.
I just didn't realize it had that high short interest. The one I'm seeing,
he just resumed, Daniel, and it's actually here we go on AMC. getting a bounce. Let's see how long this one lasts.
I have FFIE at 56.92 short. Not to say that's so, not low or anything. It's absolutely huge, but I don't see the 80. What you said, whatever that amount was.
GME halt up. Robert Smith. All right. So it looks like these names are bouncing here.
Looks like A1's trying to go higher, but it is just whipping around.
Last Gambit saying, does AMC have a shot or is it dead on arrival? Look, here's what these things, they all feel kind of weak. Feels like the move's over. Let's put it that way. But 13, I keep going back. You said it the best this morning. It can do whatever it wants. I mean, if volume starts to flow into this name because of Reddit boards, Roaring Kitty, anyone, it's the price can pop here. So I haven't been trading either of these here today. I traded them a little yesterday. I traded GME yesterday and the day before, but I'm kind of staying away here. I think that we have a couple of better moves in here, I think.
I mentioned this yesterday. We're not in the same environment that we were in back when this first meme stock craze happened.
Well said.
A lot fewer people trading this, a lot less, no stimulus, so people don't have money to throw around. Whereas, as a matter of fact, we've seen pretty much everybody almost blow through all of their savings. They're having to borrow money. So I wouldn't expect this to have a repeat of 2021 where we saw these things get astronomically high. The whole run might be shorter lived too. So just keep that in mind that there's actually going to be some kind of a baseline since we're not in the same kind of environment we were back then.
Sally's saying we were all trapped at home. Indeed, what else were you going to do? There's stuff you can do now. By the way, cattle here spiking higher, going for $12 on cattle. Disney finally trying to bounce.
Wow, that is just a big move down.
So GME is halted. AMC is still open.
I wonder if this is stockholder regret for keeping Iger and his board intact.
Awin pulling back. Not breaking down, though.
BCRX small pop.
T2 Biosystems moving off the VWAP here. That's TTOO. Which one were you looking at, 13?
Just the one that Market Sniper was mentioning, BCRX. Let's see why that's moving. Oh, a lot of insider buys in BCRX.
Okay. Be right back. 1 sec, 13.
No problem. Yeah, it looks like we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different insiders on BCRX buying these in the mid-5 handle. So I wonder if there's going to be some more upside to this as a result of that. Could be. Thank you for mentioning that, Market Sniper. What else we got? In Hollow. You're in Hollow now, Wiss? What's Hollow doing? Oh, it's down pretty significantly today. So I guess there's a bounce that you're trying to play here, I would assume. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I see what you got going on here. Nice. I'm going to put down 1K on AMC and fall asleep for a bit. Well, I wish you luck. What else? We got EBS restructuring, short interest. Let's take a look, Sydney, on EBS. I didn't, read if that was what was happening here. I just noticed that it was. I was being told this was moving. It was moving much better a couple of days ago, on Monday. Forget why though. Earnings. That's what it was. Walgreens to compete with EBS.
Oh, so, right. Sorry about that. 13.
No worries. Just trying to get a handle on what this what Sydney's saying with the EBS.
Wissa trying to move higher here. Look for this to set some new highs. Disney bounce continues.
Buying some more FMC. Get it, line. I still have some.
GME open and bouncing here.
What is going on here?
Which one? Which ticker?
Oh, I'm just looking at something. I don't know if it's worth bringing up yet, but if it is, I'll let you know.
Jay Rice mentioning Goldman Sachs hitting new highs for days here. This has been a good one here. Still don't feel great about any of the financials, but this is no doubt this has been a good performer. Were you trading this one? I can't remember.
Me?
No, Jay. Sorry, I was asking Jay. And as far as EBS here, Sally's giving you some more context. They crushed earnings, did some corporate restructuring to decrease costs. Both of those things positive.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably Fairchild.
No, it's actually not calculating.
Oh,
That's the difference. Okay, so Fairchild, this is first of all, as noted by the timestamp, the last short interest update was April 24th, so it could absolutely have changed between then and May 15th, which is today. The way we report short interest is we do no estimating. We actually just report them from the filings, which is why we only get updates twice a month. So some of those other sources may be estimating that short interest or may just have a newer print. I actually pinged my news desk to check for an update on that. But again, what all you really need to know is that the Benzinga Pro is not going to estimate short interest. It's going to pull it from the filings.
Okay, so what I was looking at, because I think I saw Line Atlas mentioning it. Maybe he might have just typed it differently. But KULR Cooler, this one has a pop. They got a bit of news here this morning. They're adding UPS to its battery safety shipping platform. They're launching an online marketplace. So I don't know how material this news is, but I thought that's what I was seeing. Anyway.
Well, does it seem to you? I mean, it does to me, but does it seem to you like things kind of slowed down here? I mean, even the GME AMC craze stuff.
It seems
like
that
to be
was
less crazy today.
Seems like that was the case, matter of minutes ago too.
Yeah,
like just things that said, okay, well, we got CPI, we traded the open, and now let's go have a day. So,
volume disappeared, says Crassy. That's kind of what I'm seeing here too. SPY holding in here 526.
And speaking of the SPY, why don't we just take a look and see what kind of volume it's traded today? Oh, look at that. Well, it's actually more than what we've usually have been seeing this week at this time. It's in the double digits at this point. Lately, it hasn't.
That does seem like a step up, honestly. It's been crazy.
It's kind of sad to say, oh, hey, look, at 11 million shares, and we're getting all excited about that as if it's some significant number. It's really not. That's still very low. And now the average volume over the 100-day time frame is underneath 69 now, and it keeps dropping because we're printing these half-day volume loads on the SPY. 30 million, 40 million. It's just no participation, and I think it's probably going to. I think everybody's kind of thinking the same thing. It's going to come down to what NVIDIA says.
Yeah, and that is going to be a week from today, that report. Yep. May 22nd after the market, week from today. That is probably the next big event.
Yep. And then let's see, after that, the following week, I believe, is when we get GDP and PCE.
Tesla looks like that bounce kind of stalled here, although it's not breaking down. It's holding that low, Len and Randy. Stuff there, probably still in that one.
Oh, looks like
you made all-time highs just now. Sorry, 13.
No worries. We're just getting a mention that AWIN has a strong move. Green candle looks like it's bouncing off of close to the VWAP.
Came back into VWAP. Yep. And so Bitcoin is moving up here, Robert. How are some of those other Bitcoin names doing? CLSK really reversed. So too did Mara.
Yeah, after hitting 64.7, it came in, and now it's trying to get some support and go higher. But I'd wait and see.
LIDAR going higher here, ticker LIDR. We talked about this one. This actually consolidated and broke out of that formation, moving higher here. Crassy mentioning that Monday might be done, so the gap and go not happening here. Just a gap and kind of stop. It didn't give it back up, which is good, but
Well done, Lynn Williams.
don't like the market overall here. Okay. Well, at least you got out with a gain there, Lynn. That's just a credit to your entry. You two really good entry on that stock, and even in a pullback off that bounce allowed you to close it for a profit. That's well done, Lynn and Randy. Well done. Is Hollow moving here? I know Wiss just mentioned it.
I heard somebody mentioning it earlier. I don't know how much it's moved since then. It's coming off of a bottom, it seems. Oh, AWIN looks like that's going back to VWAP.
Lion, I'm using my cell phone today. Look, so I got a story about that. One of the first trips that I made to BZ wasn't the very first one, because the very first one was on a weekend, but it was one of my early trips. My flight was during the market hours, much like it is today, and I was trying to be active in the airport on the phone, and I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't get the order entry quick enough. I couldn't figure out how to actually like trade effectively from the app. Shout out to you if you're able to do that. I normally pack it in on travel days, much like I'm doing today. Just one less thing for me to worry about to get through all the traveling. ARM, this is bouncing here. 113 looks to be that bounce spot. Disney continuing to bounce back.
And LIDR continuing to push up.
IPW back towards the highs. So some of these smaller names might still have, a shot here.
Mm-hmm.
Apple at the highs. Apple really strong today. Netflix going green, or Netflix is green, going higher. I'm sorry. iNod actually doing a decent job holding 11 so far here.
Looks like Bitcoin might be at risk of losing 64.
Yeah, that formation does look a little weak. Edible still coming back in.
AWIN might get going again here. Might need a little bit more time, but it looks like it's trying to find some support here at about 685-ish.
Right above that VWAP. You could see a bounce away from this. I don't think this one's over yet either, folks. You might have another opportunity here. Yeah, Lynn saying traveling and trading is a disaster. It is for me. Look, if you can do it, kudos. Hey, Lion, I can appreciate that. I just want to make a few trades and say hey to the team. Well, you know what? Awesome.
That's awesome. Teamwork.
I scheduled my flight after this show so that we could still go off without a hitch here. So I feel you, Lion, and I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I'll tell you what, Twitter streets look slow. Some of my trading network friends don't see a whole lot of new stuff in there.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to wait to see what AWIN does here, because it looks like it's really going to get going.
Nothing wrong with focusing on the best possible play, 13. Nothing wrong at all with that.
Yeah, I have used my phone before to play some trades, and it's worked out. It's just that it's like set those stops, set the limits, make sure you're protecting yourself, so that if you have to like take a call or something and you can't look at your phone, you're okay.
Here's your AWIN bounce, 13. Let's see if it clears out this range here. That spot that I'd really like to see it move through is 8. Look at the spread there. It goes to like 50 cents in a flash. That's wild.
Yeah, you kind of have to have the limit orders out, because anything else, you're going to not get the correct fill you want.
Indeed.
And it really should. I mean, the volume's not looking great, so it's kind of a question of whether or not it's going to have enough to move up through into the 8s.
I feel like this chat is my extended family. That is good to hear.
We try to be supportive.
Oh, we do. We absolutely do. Bros appearing on my relative volume scanner. Let's check that out.
It's
Bros
funny.
having a good day.
That's funny, the Crow. You were just mentioning LIDR as I was taking a look at it, and yeah, I think you might be right. It could push to 4, though. It needs to stop putting in some of these upper shadows here. That would make me think otherwise. But it looks like it has enough volume to get up there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That halt, that spike on volume into that first upside halt, that told the story. This thing, opened higher, pulled back to the VWAP, went higher, pulled back to the VWAP again, went higher again. That initial spike there on volume told the story. You guys discussing AMC and GME. AMC rolling over here. 5 up next here on AMC. This has had absolutely no strength today at all. I know it popped a little higher out of the pre-market. It has barely even got above that VWAP. We have one candle here where it traded above. That candle still closed below the VWAP. Lower we go. Looks like 5 on deck here for AMC. Vincent, VWAP is volume weighted average price. So this line is taking a look at the price and the volume of the stock and then creating an average line. And then the way that we use that in our trading is a potential key level, right? So as you can see here with AMC, it's clearly using this light blue line as resistance as the price continues to stay under it. And even when the price reverses from some of the selling pressure and goes back up, it still finds resistance at this line. The inverse is true a lot of the times as well, where a stock will ride or hold above its VWAP. It's a very, very commonly used indicator, and it's probably I would say that and the MACD here on this broker, these are the main indicators that I use. For day trade, it's only this is I only look at intraday VWAP.
Yeah, and you do get a lot of institutions trading, or they analyze VWAP for the best moments of liquidity, so that when they make their trades, they can get their fills they're looking for. So you'll see a lot of institutional trades happening around VWAP.
Yeah, absolutely.
No 2-day VWAP. Looks like AWIN is still trying to push up into the 8s. They might get it here if we can get some more volume expansion.
That 8 spot is going to be the thing.
Yeah. So I think if we're in this one, there might be a good reason to set stops here if we can't break through that 8.
Here's to me not taking profits just like the last time. I can already tell. We'll just take some, book some of it. That way you at least put that in your pocket.
Thoughts on the SQQQ? It'll be great once we finally get that weakness in tech.
Yeah, there's a move here. There's a trade to be made here. I agree with 13. This could be great. The question is really when. And I mean, maybe if you're adding small now to try and build a position, maybe that works. 13, is that what you're thinking? Yeah,
actually, I'm sort of working on that too. I have a little bit of SQQQ. I'm starting to build a position, and we were talking about that in happy hour, and it seemed like a pretty good idea just to start slowly building into an SQQQ position, because it's the queues are very extended, and I'm expecting there to be weakness at some point. So I'm just keeping it light and slowly adding as the SQQQ drops. Eventually, it'll turn around and there'll be some selling. Just not sure when that is. So just preparing.
I like the idea, though. I really do. I like the idea. EWM, and this is, I trade this quite a bit. This is always liquid. It's always pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure what the right time is.
Yeah, it's really about timing with the SQQQ. I mean, you could be holding this for a while, and it's just going to, absolutely hurt your account. Other times, it's just going to happen, so quick that you just can't get into it because it's just on you'd be chasing at that point. Looks like AWIN popped up to 8 and then came back in, but it's getting support down around that 75, 680 level. So sideways in AWIN. Yeah, I saw that, Crow. The Red Lobster going into, the cheddar biscuit. they are going to be closing.
Look, those biscuits are straight up fire. They're so good. I'd make a joke about those biscuits too. They are so delicious.
Yeah, I've seen both of those. You know, hey, Bruce Willis is great. What can I say? One of the best movies of all time was the first Die Hard.
GDRX, really nice day here today. Yeah, sorry, I didn't get the joke there, Jay. I didn't get it. If I'm too young, it is what it is, man. Not gonna apologize for that. OCGN, nice little move here.
All right, looks like LIDR is trying to put in some new highs.
KB Homes, how's Open doing? We talked about that one earlier. So Open's lower, KB Homes higher.
360 is the breakout spot, I think, for LIDR. If we get up there and we break that, it should have a good pop.
Oh, the Cowardly Lion. So Wizard of Oz. I get it. Now I get it. NVIDIA calls getting bought here. They're kind of small, though. NVIDIA keeps pushing those highs.
It doesn't seem like any of the ones that we were talking about this morning are looking good. LIDR maybe, but even that one looks like it's getting weak. BCRX could push up to the 656 that it put in about 20, 30 minutes ago. But it's going to mean the volume just needs to expand. We just don't have volume in these names anymore. It's just all gone. All gone. Ooh,
CTMX, interesting daily formation here. If this can pop on CTMX, there's a potential gap fill in here between 289 and 382. Stock's currently at $2. So this is actually right at the 100-day moving average too. So decent daily chart here on CTMX. Might be worth watching over the next few sessions.
Yeah, the silence is deafening. It's just, I just kind of feel like that's just, the tone of the market right now. It's pretty muted. At least Root
and AMC weakness, Justin. Just weakness all day. Has not been. This is a graphical representation of it. It has been unable to even get above its VWAP.
At least Root had a little pop this morning up to over 65, right, Crow? GME halted to the downside.
As this stuff just continues to break down. Line Atlas saying, I have faith that GME is going to burn a lot of kids. I'm not going to laugh at that. I don't want to see anyone get burned, but I think you might be right on that one.
The only thing that might be worth laughing at is, fool me twice. Thought we learned our lesson in the first time around.
I mean, GameStop's down 35% today, so big move down. LiDAR here at the highest volume. It actually still looks good here on LiDAR.
Looks like Bitcoin found some support for 64K, trying to move back up.
Who's silent? Which one's silent? I missed it.
Which one's silent? The market.
Jace is unbelievable. He's awfully silent.
I mean, Crow, that's amazing. That's awesome. Looks like AWIN actually is putting a pretty decent formation here. If it can continue to hold VWAP, we might see another move up to 8. Do or die. We're getting close to the VWAP. I mean, at least mine anyway. I have it at 668. What do you have your VWAP at?
For which one? AWIN?
AWIN. Yeah.
Let me get that for you here. I had LiDAR up there. 658 is my VWAP there.
So as long as it can hold that, we might see another upside move.
Lynn and Randy saying, will you guys confirm a death cross on Tesla? No, I don't see it. Yeah, what time frame? I mean, I assumed daily. I don't see it here on the daily. Death cross would be a 50 moving through the 200 to the downside. 200s in blue, 50s in yellow. That happened a while ago. That death cross actually took place on Wednesday, January 31st of this year.
AWIN breaking down. On the 5-minute chart, I see that we're about to, if we're using those lagging indicators, we're about to death cross. That's 5-minute chart. For the daily, I mean, we death crossed a long time ago. We death crossed back on February 1st. If anything, we're going to get a silver cross, which is when the 20 crosses the 50 to the upside. And that's happening very soon. So that would be a bullish indicator, though I'm not really sure I'd be bullish on Tesla.
IPW, great call, Crow and Wiss. You guys were on IPW here today. This wasn't even on the radar. We had AWIN on the radar, but not IPW. You guys absolutely slayed this. Stay focused. We're doing all right. How are you doing this morning? I'm about to travel. I'm about to catch a plane. No trades for me here this morning, but doing all right otherwise. How are you doing? What are you trading here? It looks like the market kind of slowed down after that print.
I've only got a couple of trades, small green, nothing fancy. So just waiting to see when for more, if there's more opportunities. And it just doesn't look like there's a whole bunch. It's the least I've traded all week.
Yeah, this is my lowest or least voluminous trading day of the week. Actually, probably in several weeks.
There might be another reason besides the volume with GME, STFU.
Yeah, Lynn and Randy. So here you go. So you're talking about the 5-minute here. So you're correct. The 50-day or the 50 moving average is looking to move through. But remember, when we have this on a 5-minute time frame, these are no longer a 50-day moving average. This is a 55-minute bar moving average. Right? You change the time frame, you change what those indicators are. This is rolling over here. This does not signal the same thing as it does on a daily chart.
Right. Do I think AWIN, or do we think AWIN will go up? I couldn't tell you. I mean, from the look of it right now, the MACD is telling me that this is going to be probably going lower, maybe under 6. But I couldn't give you a solid answer on that. If somebody comes over and goes, hey, look, there's a good opportunity to buy AWIN and picks it up, that could also happen. I don't know if we go up from here, though.
Cattle near 12 here. Mara double bottoms.
Yeah,
this is a good spot here, Sally. You might have a tradable spot entry here. Really good spot, Sally.
Market's a piece of toast, right, Line?
Stay focused. AMD, Google, and HIMS. A lot of wicks keeping me on the sidelines for now.
Holding AMC or GME or any of those names, I think there's just too much risk doing that. These are not like some of these other ones that have great earnings and are rewarding their shareholders. I think these companies are going to just go followed by the same wayside they did last time after these runs. They're just, these price levels are not indicative of their business. They don't make this much money to be worthy of this valuation. A lot of the companies on the market don't right now. GME and AMC particular.
GME bouncing as you were saying that, which is just happenstance.
Maybe if I say more, if I talk more crap on it, it'll start reversing and people get trades. GME is terrible. I wish it would go down. Go down, GME. Is it going up? Looking for a retrace of you up for Zim. Hey man, Zim has been a great trade, and it could continue to be a great trade. Where are we at with that one now? 1785. So after this run, it's had some pullback, which it really needed to. You might be right. It might if it pulls back to about 1730, you might have a good opportunity here for it to go higher. I don't know how much higher though, but it does look like if it pulls back and holds about 1730-ish, you might have a good opportunity for it to go higher. Really depends on the situation in that region of the world. Like if there is a ceasefire deal, that could probably cause Zim to drop. EBS has returned to its VWAP, low volume. Yeah, I got you, Jay Rice, and I was around there too, and I had one trade in GME and it worked just fine. It was way earlier. It was before it even got to 100, and after that, I was just like, okay, well, this could knife at any moment, and it didn't. But I just didn't. I just stayed away because I was too nervous about getting into something that.
And remember, Anne Marie was telling us the same thing yesterday. Even professionals were like, "Yeah, I mean, this is an impressive move, but it's due to come back in," and that kind of kept them out of it. Just risk tolerance there, or risk parameters that kept them out of it at that point.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lynn. I will definitely be as safe as I can. Get the earbuds in there and get rocking.
Looks like Awin might be trying to get back above VWAP. Not sure about this one though.
Flip around some of these stocks that are moving. Awin, maybe a bounce off the VWAP here.
I'd say if you're willing to risk losing some money, that you could buy GME if you want. Just, if you're going to, I would just basically kind of put this out there for anybody that's looking to hold it.
What's the thesis?
Well, not just that, but be willing to lose everything you put out there. Just be willing to do that. If you're going to trade GME, which is, in my opinion, high risk, just be willing to lose whatever you spend on buying it, because you could lose a good amount of it. So just understand that risk, and then you can do whatever you want.
Multi-decade market veteran here saying GME, 2 solutions if you own it higher. They have weeklies, just sell the premium each week, or just get the F out.
Yeah.
Scanner is really, really dried up. A lot of the names that we were looking at also came in a little bit, even including Awin here.
I think Awin might be turning around here, though. It's certainly trying to. It just needs to get that volume expansion, or else it's going to not reverse like it's trying to right now.
Amazon. Boy, I tell you what, Amazon had that pull out of the open, tried to bounce. Looks like this might actually roll over here. Now, Bitcoin, we talked about Bitcoin earlier. That's actually holding here just under 65K.
Hey, not a problem. How should I address you? YVMG. I mean, however you like is fine. But we would love to have you back here if you want to learn more about this stuff. We're here every day that the market's open.
Every day.
All right, Awin, really starting to get going here. This might actually start to work. We just need to see this volume expand.
GDRX still at the highs here. Apple looks like it's actually trying to make some new highs here. Apple has been strong all morning. Even on that pullback, buyers took it higher immediately. MNDY looks like this is kind of coming back in a little bit. Lost its VWAP, not breaking down, but lower.
Yeah, Apple, Nvidia, and Netflix are the big gainers today with those larger names.
Stay focused here. My friends are telling me that they're printing by shorting some of these large pullbacks on the meme stocks. Unfortunately, a lot of the retail trading platforms are not allowing the shorting. That's what we've heard. Weren't you saying earlier this week, 13, it was Robinhood or something, or somebody? Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe somebody brought that up.
I thought it was TD Ameritrade, or Thinkorswim, wasn't it?
I didn't.
I know you're
talking, so I can't tell you.
I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing that conversation.
Yeah, we saw a couple of comments on that too.
Yeah. Awin's still looking like it's got some strength here. This could be a good one. just be careful here and maybe raise your stops as this rises, because we've seen how this market gets tired real fast and then just decides to knife things. So let's make sure we lock in some gains here if we do see that weakness start to happen.
Boeing moving lower here. AMD ripping. Yeah. How's NVIDIA? And NVIDIA reversed and went higher.
Mujic, thank you. I didn't realize that. Maybe I did.
That was Monday. Forgot. Yeah, that was Monday. We talked about it. But the platform is still called Thinkorswim. Okay. So Thinkorswim is still the correct name for it. It's just owned by Schwab instead of Ameritrade now.
If Awin can get through this through 750, it might have some legs here. I'm on Awin. Just been on this one until it looks like it's going to be time to ring the register. But I think that 750 level, if that gets taken out, we're gonna probably see 8, and if not, then back to VWAP, I would say. It's chewing through it now. All right, we're through. Almost there. Just trying to make its way up to 8, getting a bunch of sell orders coming in the way. Currently got as high as 778.
You still have that spread deal going too, where the spread kind of shrinks and expands back and forth.
Mm-hmm. So as soon as buyers stop wanting to buy up this high, they go, okay, well, hold on. Let's drop my bid in case it comes in.
NNE recent IPO on the move. This was a fairly decent sell-off.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting a little weak in Awin. Might not get to 8, but that was a nice move through 750 at least. It's it's going to be what your risk assessment is. Some people just jump in and try to ride it and scalp it. It's dependent upon what your situation is. Usually, I would say technical levels people jump into pretty frequently. Do you have like a method that you lean on, Ryan, when you jump into something? Is there something? Because I think there's like a lot of answers to that question.
Yeah, it's way too vague of a question, frankly. There are a number of different things. It depends what time frame. It depends what time frame you're looking at. It depends what the type of trade is. It depends what the type of risk is. A lot of the times on some of these smaller ones where we're just day trading them, we wait for a particular key level to be tested. And if it looks like the stock is kind of holding at that key level, perhaps there's a reversal there that you can take an advantage of or something of that nature. It can be completely different on a swing trade, right? You might be like, for example, on PanW, I was looking for 3 consecutive closes above a key level, which was the 200-day moving average. And so there's just too much to explain in that particular question. But that should give you an idea of how you can use some of those.
Yeah, you can start by doing some things like just seeing where go to a lower time frame, see where the price is topping out at or having a hard time getting over. Kind of mark that level off as a potential level for the price to return and break out of later. That could be. You have to learn a little bit about some of the patterns and some of the behavior of the price action, so you can get an idea of when a good time to get in is. And that's just a simple facet of deciding what level or where you want to buy. Like Ryan said, there's a lot of different things that you need to consider when you're making your decision on where to buy.
Okay, got just about under 20 minutes left here. Things have definitely slowed down. Definitely slowed down here.
Yeah, who's gonna go for nap time? It seems like the chat slowed down so much. I think folks may have already gone for nap time.
Pretty soon we're gonna have Zunade on.
Yeah, Awin. Sorry.
I was just saying, pretty soon we're going to have Zunaid on to relieve me so I can get to the airport. But we're going to roll all the way to 11 here. Sorry, what were you saying on A? What were you seeing here on AWIN?
It's pulled back a little bit, still above VWAP, but I mean, like I've been screaming about with the volume, it just needs to expand, and we're just not seeing the expansion yet. That's why I couldn't get to 8.
It's like I'm seeing some news from Europe. Slovakia's prime minister taken to the hospital after being shot.
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyway, just seeing that breaking across the wire here, I don't really think that's affecting the market at all.
Yeah, but still want to wish.
Don't want to look into that. Absolutely.
Okay, it looks like Palantir is trying to come off its bottom. It's coming back up to VWAP. We'll have to wait and see what happens when it gets there. EBS still trying to take out its VWAP, but the volume doesn't look great. Just again, volume. It's not enough of it to get these levels taken out that we want taken out. CLSK trying to reverse. Looks like Bitcoin's trying to make its way back up off of the $64,000 level. Still pushing back up. Looks like it's about 64.5 that it's trying to get over right now. That's where we've seen some resistance lately in this upward move. So if it gets through that, maybe there's another shot at 65,000 on Bitcoin.
Disney holding lower here. Let's do one final check-in in GME and AMC before I bounce for the day here. GME holding lower here under 34. AMC holding, actually AMC has held 5 so far here.
I think Disney's going to fill this gap. That would put it at 99.28 is where it's going to go to. So when you look at the Disney chart on a daily, and we've got this floating island that we've been trading in since February. We're starting to come to the downside and fill that gap that was created when we made this floating island.
Zunaid, how's it going, dude?
Dude, I was in the back at 10:40, and I was just responding to emails, Slacks, and I totally forgot that I was supposed to be on air. But
okay,
hello. Hi,
can I bounce?
Good. You can bounce. Have fun.
We need a screen to be shared.
You got it, my man. We are going to
take
go
care,
ahead
folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Share.
Fly safe, Ryan.
How can we not talk about GME if I'm on the show, right? We made plenty of money last time we were on. Let's go ahead and talk about this puppy here. GME, we have our levels, and as you can see, we cracked our levels of 38.23, tried to retest it, rejected one more time, into the downside we come. Now, AMC is at $5. What are we going to do here? Again, resistance popped up, held the support. Are we going to hold the support? What do you think, my man?
Well, when it comes to GME and AMC, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in these. It seems like the market's already deciding the volume's done for the day, or at least for the lunch hour. And these names aren't looking too good. Now, we could get some consolidation right in that area. You have those two areas you have marked off there between 477 and 510. I'd be looking for some consolidation right in that area before we make the next move.
Chat, are we going to go ahead and YOLO some AMC options is the question for me, right? So let's see. This week's $5 calls are going for about 90 cents. I kind of want to go out all the way to May because I can pay about 40 cents more and get 2 weeks more. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. One moment. Let me go ahead and roll this up. All right, chat. We're going to go ahead and spend $300 on this. I'm going to go ahead and buy, and you guys can't see my screen, I don't think. So give me one moment, and I will confirm it for you. Ooh, strike price 550. No. We want strike price 5. Limit, market, place order. And my order has been filled. So here's what I just bought. Again, complete, total, YOLO, right? This is not, where's the disclaimer? Can I make that on fire for this? Where's the disclaimer? Where's the disclaimer? I don't think I have the disclaimer on this one. Maybe I do.
What are you looking to capture out of this?
Hopefully not a lawsuit, but I would love for this to go back and retrace to 685, right? Let's try to go ahead and test the previous side. 685 would be great, but obviously, I mean, man, come on. If AMC can stop, just diluting shares the next day, maybe we'd have a chance at the puppy. But just to make it official, I am in AMC calls, $5 calls that expire at the end of May. So May 31st, $5 calls AMC. My average price is $1.38. I've purchased 2 of them. So what's that quick math? That's $300 or so. I like how I said quick math and then butchered the math. That's
I wasn't even listening to the math. I was just kind of wondering if that $6 level is going to provide resistance or not.
I'm hoping the $5 level holds a support as it has in the past a couple of days. And you've also got the whole number situation.
The $6 level.
I just lagged. Well, no. I'm hoping the 5 holds here.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then we can kind of crack this 6 resistance. So yeah, we're both saying accurate things, but I'm saying I hope the 5 holds and that we can crack the 6 and march our way upwards. But let's go. Roaring Kitty. Come on. Let's get on. Let's get on.
Wasn't he
NBC.
Wasn't he tweeting again this morning?
He just tweeted. Yes. He just tweeted approximately 2-3 minutes ago is what we've got.
What's the latest?
Man, who knows? At some point, I feel like quality over quantity. So there's so many things that he's tweeting out that it's like, I don't like, bro, get to the point. Also, here's another trade that I'm genuinely interested in, guys and gals. It's Hood, not just because of this AMC or meme trade, right? I'm genuinely interested in this because look, the 1618 is holding on. My man Amit, who we did have on the show a couple of weeks ago, he's been talking about it. He's provided some great insights. So make sure you follow him on Twitter if you haven't already. But I'm genuinely interested to see how many inflows of cash they had from other brokers and other Roth IRA platforms with their match, the 3% match that they were doing. I believe Q2 is going to be huge for them. I am a long-term investor in this now. I also have a options position that's short-term, which I'll share in a moment. But these are my levels. 16, 18 continues to hold on to support. We got to go ahead and break above 20, and then maybe we can make our way towards 25. So long-term, this is a hold for me. This is a buy. My stop loss, I would say the break of 14. The break of 14, I would say, you know what? I'm taking the L, so I'm risking approximately $3-4. Now, sorry, I got distracted with the Slack.
No worries.
Here's my position. Here's my position on the short term. It is Hood 1750 calls that expire at the end of May. Unfortunately, before I got on the show, these were only up about 10%, so I was happy to talk about it. But as you can see with this green candle, that position is now up 50%. So do not buy this because it's already up 50%, and that's unfair to you. I'm just being transparent in what position I have and why I have it, because I've got a couple of weeks for this puppy to go ahead and break $20 to the upside. Because if last night you had Vlad that tweeted that I believe it was 5 billion trading volume had occurred just yesterday, which is the biggest in a 12-month span that they've seen. That's huge. That is huge, 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 huge. If this meme craze continues to go crazy, they are going to go ahead and be the beneficiary of it as well. No matter what happened with the buy button, the sell button, whatever you want to call it. Look, I was impacted as well, right? I was in this from the beginning. I can't believe I'm not in any of the movies. It's ridiculous, but that's okay. That's my personal rant. Can't believe they didn't want to hand.
Who do you want playing you?
Me. What do you mean? Are you out of your mind? Me. I want me to play me.
Well, I got to tell you, when I look at the chart or the daily chart for Hood, I do see the most recent pattern that we're forming here looks to me like a bull flag. So I do like that the technical setup here you have for your trade.
Come on.
It seems like it looks good.
I don't want Aziz Ansari to play me. I don't want Hassan Minaj to play me. Like that guy, though. Funny as hell. Russell Peters, too big and old, and not as handsome as me. So, like, yeah, I want me to play me. All right. Enough with the ranting on my end. But, okay. Oh, I am Akash Singh. That's what our producer just texted me or Slacked me. Yes, Akash Singh for sure. If you guys have not checked out Akash Singh, he's got a pretty good stand-up comedy special on YouTube. Although, is it a special when you can just upload it for free? I don't know. But anyway, back to stocks. Are there any tech news you're looking at? What's up?
Oh, I'm just looking at Disney, and I was mentioning to Ryan before he had to jump off that it looks like Disney is going to fill this gap.
Woo. Yes, sir.
So I don't know if there's any trade that you want to do there, but it looks like there's a nice setup.
You know why I like this? Because not only will this be interesting because it fills a gap. Chat, if you've been here long enough and you've seen me trade, why else do you think I am a fan of this fill the gap trade? And then for a bounce, fill the bounce. Somebody let me know.
I mean, hey, we had Meta actually put in a very similar formation not too long ago where it had gaps at the upside and downside. I think they filled those though.
The reason that I am a fan of this trade, no, this is not all access, Lonnie. I'll get to that here in a second. The reason that I'm a fan of this trade is because you can fill the gap at 99.42, but also the $100 hold level as well. Right. So for me, would love to go ahead and get in around $100. My stop loss would probably be risking about $4 or so. That's what I've got on this trade. So rest of the show, what's that look like? It's going to be 13 and I hanging out. If you're still good with that 13 for about another 7 minutes, then I will go ahead and have Futures Fever sponsored by Apex. Well, we will trade some futures. I will have my own paid funded account that I will use to utilize something, which by the way, I got to check if I can request a payout today or tomorrow, because that's exactly what I plan on doing for $500. And then after that, we will go ahead and have our all access interview and then also a special interview after that as well. So it's going to be a fun filled jam-packed day that we've got coming up. But that's what I like on Disney, man.
Yeah. And, I've been looking for this downside in Disney for a while. And I thought, well, this is what the shareholders that voted to keep Iger and his board intact, this is what they got. There's also a bit of, this doesn't look like the greatest formation here since that gap up anyway. And I know that these floating islands can be bullish, but it just looks like we were gonna top out at about 125 anyway, with or in that area, since we had some other price action that was keeping it down below that level.
And you said Mara, was it Mara? You mentioned another ticker while we were talking about AMC. Disney. Can't remember which one it was though. Was it SAVA? I know someone in the chat mentioned it, but I wasn't sure if that was you.
I think it might have been AWIN, AWIN. That's one of those smaller names we were trading this morning. Just looking to see if it's going to continue holding its VWAP, because if it doesn't, then this thing's probably going to end up going under 6. It was one of the ones I traded this today.
Sorry, give me a sec.
No worries.
Boy, I swear, my mind is always just like, ooh, this email, ooh, that Slack, ooh, tickers.
When it's rush hour and traffic and cars are desperately trying to get into the lane you're in, you fill in the gaps and do no favors for them as they never for you. Crow, I call that hole shotting.
FFIE. So is this the most shorted stock in the market? Is that what I heard the other day?
It seems like it's one of the most shorted one. I don't know about the most shorted, but it does have a very high short interest of 56.92.
Which company just ended up filing for bankruptcy?
Is it Mullen? No.
That's funny. No, it was damn chat. It was like a pretty well-known company that filed for bankruptcy the past week. Anyone in the chat remember? Waiting for my special to come out. Listen, my special will come out when I'm on the internet losing a shit ton of money. No, not Smile Direct Club. Red Lobster.
Oh yeah, they're going. Oh yeah, I didn't know if they.
But are they
traded
traded though?
I don't think they are.
They're not. I thought that was a publicly traded company that did.
Maybe there's like some kind of group that owns.
Yeah, like Yum Brand. So a friend of mine texted me the other day, and this is why I love my friends. Homegirl texted me and she said, "Yo, KFC, I want to invest. How do I do that?" And I'm a nerd, so I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're owned by Yum Brand, ticker YUM. And so she's like, "Awesome, I'm gonna put money in it." And I'm like, "What's the reason you want to put it?" And she's like, "I love their menu and I think their food tastes great." And I'm like, "Okay." And I said, all right. So now she's invested a few $1,000 into Yum Brands. Which is this all-time highs for them possibly if they break it? I believe it might be right here. So
yeah,
I hope she's not listening because I'm kind of making fun. But her gut's been great. She made a shit ton of money when it came to AMC. She made like 20 grand or something like that. So who am I to?
Her gut's been great. That's great for this Yum Brands ticker.
I see what you did.
I got you. I see what you did there. By the way, it's Golden Gate Capital that owns Red Lobster. They're a private equity firm.
Okay, so yeah, nothing here. But okay, so yeah, Hood, I really like long term, and I'm not a big long term investor. I have commitment issues. I like to click, get out, and not really worry about what's happening a year from now or anything like that. But I think Hood, either they continue, and their crypto, brokerage situation hasn't really taken off either. I think that's another huge catalyst. I think the credit card is a huge catalyst. I think it slowly started to roll out. I saw a couple of tweets. I haven't gotten mine yet. I'm still on the waiting list.
Crypto's a big deal too. The fact that they're able to allow that on their platform.
Yep,
I think that's a big deal. But I do like Robinhood's chart. Their current formation does look like it will go to 20, pending any other news that knocks it down. But it does look good to me.
Yeah, let me give me 1 sec. Sorry, I gotta respond to this email.
Email me some gains. What are we thinking, folks? Does EBS look like it's trying to take another shot to break over VWAP? I'm not sure. The volume doesn't look great. None of the volume looks great in any of these. Maybe we'll get some movement in the Bitcoin names if Bitcoin can get back over 64,500. Looks like LIDR just kind of going sideways, still above VWAP, so that's good news. But looking like that one could end up rolling over if we don't get another upside move soon.
You got any long-term stocks that you're looking at before I move into futures here in a minute?
Well, I mean, because at this point, I want to see a pullback in the market so I can get into some of these, because even Buffett has said the same thing. There's just nothing really interesting right now because the valuations are just so high. There's not a lot of opportunity in some of these names, but I'm definitely taking a look at consumer discretionary names. I'm in the utility names I want to be in. So it's really just a matter of getting some market correction so that we can load up on some of these additional names. And I really don't have the greatest list together for that yet.
Well, how long is the outlook for you? Is that like a 2 years, 3, 4 years? What are you thinking?
Whenever I go long for like long-term, I always try to capture the long-term gains tax bracket. So I am always doing a year to 3 years, maybe longer. Like I just recently rotated out of a little bit of JP Morgan that I've had for 4 years to rebalance my portfolio, since I'm a little heavy in financials as they've run recently.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've had that JP Morgan since 2019, and I picked that up for about $100, somewhere around $100, maybe a little bit less.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So it's things like that I do.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's time for us to trade futures 13. I would love if you'd like to hang out with us. You're more than welcome to. If you got a dip, you got a dip. It's up to you.
I got a dip. Sorry, folks, I can't stick around, but I will be back here tomorrow.
All right, my man. Thank you so much. Feel free to tell the folks where they can find you on Twitter.
I don't have any social media. You can only find me on Benzinga.
Wow. I mean, I like the exclusiveness. I'm not going to lie. All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. You have a great day.
Problem.
Thank you for hanging out with us. See you tomorrow. All right, chat. It's time for Futures Fever. This is where we go ahead and trade some futures. And we're going to go ahead and talk about Apex, because they just went ahead and announced a huge sale. So I'm going to talk about what they are, what they do, and then we will trade some futures. I'll go over some charts. And if we have time, I'll also look at some stock charts. I know you guys requested MU, and some of you asked about the most shorted stock, and you can't believe how short it is, unlike my height, which apparently I've been told I talk a lot about. So I don't know, maybe it is a true insecurity of mine. But Apex, this is a prop firm where you go through an eval phase. Right now, as you can tell, it's 90% off, and you get a chance to pass the eval in one day. You don't have to pass it in one day, but you get a chance to pass it in one day. And then you go ahead and get a funded account where you have a drawdown, different limits, and things like that. If we just go ahead and click, nope, you're going to see my big account there probably. I don't want you guys to see that. So you have like a rhythmic plan. I personally am on the Tradevate plan, which you will see here in just a moment. So I personally use this, where right now this eval process, I think, is like $18. So it's like $20. Get profit of 3,000 or draw down to 2,500. If you get the profit of 3,000, then you go ahead and get a eval. And matter of fact, let me see, where is my 90% off? Oh no, is there no 90% off banner? Oh man, I should be fired. Okay. But anyway, check that out. And then you go ahead and pay like $100 a month or 165 lifetime to go ahead and be funded by them. So here's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I am now going to connect my can't have y'all see my login because, you know, that's pretty scary. All right, here we go. Share charts. Awesome. So here is my Apex account. Now, as you can see, I have 1, 2, right? So these are my funded accounts. If you see a PA here, these are my funded accounts. I'm up $1,000 on this one. I think I'm up approximately $159 on this one. But all these other accounts, that one's blown. This one, I can get funded. This one, I need to get paid funded. That one, I need to get paid funded. So like I have at least 6 funded accounts that I need to go ahead and pay for. So I'm really, really excited for that. And I've got 2 more evals that I want to pass. The goal by the end of May is to have 20 funded accounts through Apex. And this sale of 90% off is really, really going to help me do that. And then we can kind of start working on making some money. So let's go ahead and take a look at the NQs and let's see what's going on here. Mark some things off, and I'll go ahead and take a look at your questions here in the chat in just a moment. Let's go to that. 13 is your friend. 13 is all of our friends. I'll get to MU here in a moment. Another tweet, another bump. See, this is interesting. And again, I am very transparent, right? Apex obviously sponsors this show. However, I would still, now the sale is sick on the 250. It is a 6-6 sale. However, I would still prefer to just have my 20s or my $50,000 accounts just because it's easier. It's what I've been working, and you know, the trail drawdown and all that stuff, it just kind of works for me because for the 251, you have to get 15,000, right? I'll just share this. You have to get 15,000. And for me, I'd rather just stick to this. Just let me get $3,000 in profits, and then I can go ahead and get my funded account. That's the way I'd like to operate for me personally. All right, let's go ahead and if this gets here, do we want to try? Here's what we'll do. We'll place a trade. Am I in my? Oh, yeah, I'm in my funded one. If this gets up here to resistance again, I'm going to see if we can go ahead and short it. Nope, we don't want to short 10. We'll short 1, and we'll risk about $300 to make $300. Oh, that's a tight one though. Maybe I should ease up a little bit. Maybe I should go micros. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. All right, cool. There's a trade that I have placed on NQ. And again, for the folks that are just joining me, this is not paper money. It's not real money like you've seen me trade with TradeStation in the past. This is a funded account through Apex, which I call in the middle of real money and paper money. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of other tickers that you guys wanted. MU was one of them. So while we wait for that trade to come in, we can take a look at MU. Take a look at the daily first. All right, obviously there's gaps here, but All right. Sorry. I get distracted very easily, as you can tell. Okay. I'm not quite sure what the best way I would want to trade this is, right? If you were trying to go short, I think the closer you get it to 130, the better. If you're trying to go long, I think if you break 131, the better. But I don't think I have a great trade idea on this one, unfortunately. And I don't just want to make one up unless it's something that I would personally take. Now, one thing I will say is that you are coming up against a resistance area right here, right? So you have resistance here, 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 and here as well. So we'll see what happens at this 128 area, but that's one thing that I'm keeping an eye on right there. Let's see what we've got. What else you guys want to take a look at? Again, we're still waiting patiently for our trade in the NQ to go ahead and hit. We'll see if it actually ever gets up there. By the way, go ahead. And I know a lot of you are new here in the chat because you just came from the AMC meme craze and all that good stuff. But do me a favor and let me know if we put together like a webinar to teach you how to trade stocks. If you would be interested, type 1 in the chat. Kind of like a boot camp style, if you will. Type 1 in the chat if you'd be interested for that. Type 2 in the chat if you would be interested in learning how to trade futures and having like a boot camp in that as well. Type 3 if you would love both. Boot camp on how to trade futures. And this will be completely free, by the way, on how to trade futures and how to trade stocks. And you can type 5 for fun if you think I'm handsome, but you don't want us to teach you anything. This way, at least I get a compliment out of it. Awesome. Awesome. This is great feedback. This is great feedback. We appreciate it. We are working with someone to put together a boot camp, hopefully sometime in June. We just have to figure out, the best content that is valuable to y'all. And again, this would be absolutely free. You would not need to charge anything. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Okay, someone wanted to get caught up, so let me go ahead and catch them up here. Appreciate the 5, by the way. Appreciate your support. First time here, just going off the title. Can you catch me up? Absolutely, we can. So on this show, from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we do what's called live trading, where we trade stocks, options, small cap, mid cap, blue coin, whatever. We trade it all, blue chip coins. We trade all those stocks. Then we go ahead and have a Futures Fever here on Wednesdays, which is where I'm trading futures. You can see it on my screen here with a funded account that is sponsored by Apex. You can see their info there. Check them out. They have a 90% sale. But then after that, we have what's called All-Access, which is where we have executives from publicly traded companies come on and talk about what's going on with their businesses. And you guys get a chance in the chat to ask questions as well. And I'll do my best to go ahead and have those questions answered. So we trade stocks, we trade options, we trade futures, and then we get some insights from executives from publicly traded companies as well. It's a fun show. And we are happy to have you here. We hope you stick around. And obviously, feel free to ask any questions if you would like. Is there beer at the boot camp? What you do at home is your business, All right. I don't want to just kind of patiently wait for this trade to get filled. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through ES and see if there are any trade possibilities here. Now you are coming up against resistance, which is going to be all-time highs here at 53.32. How do you pick, by the way, thank you for the 5 again, or the first 5. I don't know how this works, but how do you pick what you trade? Daily movement, sentiment? I go ahead. So it's a great question. Here's what I do. I'll give you an example on Hood, right? This is a trade that I talked about earlier. I go to the daily, and on the daily, I'm saying, okay, what's happening here? And I see a bit of consolidation, right? You popped up, then you get a little bit of bounces. Then I go to the 4 hour, and on the 4 hour, I can kind of clearly see, hey, we've got support right here. On Robinhood, ticker HOOD. Support is about 16.18. So I went long in my long-term portfolio, or not portfolio as in I'm going to keep it forever, but I believe this is going to be a swing trade for me. So I went long around $17 or so. And I'm also in call options. These are up 50%. So I'm not telling you to buy these. I'm never telling you to buy them. I'm just informing you. Because I saw this And because of the meme craze that was happening, and because Robinhood, I believe, had such an influx of money coming in from their Roth IRA matches and everything else, I went ahead and purchased 1750 calls in Robinhood expiring end of May for about 89 cents. These are now trading for $1.34 on the bid. Do not buy them. They're up 50%. Make your own decisions. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not the one that pays your bills. But that's how I decide what trade I'm going to get into, is I identify on a larger time frame, at least a 15-minute if I'm day trading, at least a 4-hour if I'm swing trading, what the support is, and then I go ahead and get into a position. If this got to $14 and we broke it, I would go ahead and bounce. I would get out. I would say I was wrong, and then we would kind of move on with life. So that's how I do it. Hopefully that answers your question. SMCI is ripping, they say. Let's go ahead and see. All right, SMCI. Oh, would you look at this? Look at that. So went ahead and drew this pretty little trend line right here. We broke out of it. And as soon as we broke out of it on the 15-minute, you had, was it a 30 minute? I think it was a 30-minute or so. You kind of broke out pre-market, came back, tested it. Now we marched to the upside. You know, now we go ahead and move on to the upside. Let's see. Obviously, there's plenty of ways to go for this to go ahead and break or try to test its all-time highs, right? We're at, what is that, 38%? So plenty of ways to go. Damn, is it really 38%? Holy God. Yeah. Wow. Okay. We are breaking out. I would wait for maybe a pullback if you want to get in this one, maybe VWAP. Let's see where VWAP is right now. My V's and W's get mixed up because I'm brown, even though I've lived in America for like 20 years. Yeah, maybe a pullback around here, the 650s or so. This is a great trade if you had gotten it on the break of 650, or excuse me, 850. That was sick, but unfortunately we missed it. So we'll go ahead. How do you build your charts and how early? I personally do it late at night after market. And okay. You got it, Aaron. You got it. I can't screw it up. So what I'll go ahead and do is, like the dailies, I can chart whenever and however, right? But then the 30 minutes and the intradays, I won't chart till we're in the actual trading session itself. So I would say the night before is perfectly fine. If your levels are a little bit further out, then you are good to go. All right, SMCI popping up. You can expect a little bit of resistance. Let's go on the 30-minute here. You can expect a little bit of resistance, in my opinion, right around here, right around 912.24. You can see popped up, right? So support, drop, resistance here. And now how do we behave? That's the question. Tesla news. Let's see. TSLA. 1 minute. Hello, mama, to the downside. What happened here? I was in meetings, so I don't know exactly what's going on with Tesla, but I've got my handy dandy Benzinga Pro that'll be able to provide me some insights. So let's go here. Let's go to news. I'm sharing this tab. There's that. Type in Tesla. Oh, okay. So one, I know they plan on doing more layoffs, and it looks like Elon Musk fired Supercharger chief Rebecca and her entire team after she refused to lay off more workers than planned. Oh boy. Bro, can you imagine? This is insane. That is insane to me. Can you imagine just firing 500 people because you like, what? Wow. Okay, let's see if there's a trade idea here. This isn't exactly a bad spot. If you wanted to go short Tesla, which is down to 1.5%, it's not the biggest thing. But if you wanted to go short Tesla, Could be a solid VWAP trade. My stop loss personally, I'd probably risk about $1.50 or so, and I would go ahead and get out. But yeah. All right. FIFE. FFIE. So many people are talking about it. If you break 50 cents, if you break 54, I could be interested in this one for a day trade. But for now, I'm just focused on my trade here at the NQ, which at the moment, do I want to go short here? Maybe I do. You know what? Let's do this. Let's put on a trade. We'll go here. We'll go to the minis, or we'll go to the micros rather. And I will go short 5 of these puppies, risk about $200 to make about $200 and see if we got a trade here. All right. So I am short on my funded account with Apex, 90% off right now. I am short 5 micro E-mini NASDAQ contracts. We'll see if this kind of comes back down and tests the 18,573 level or so. Who just got bored? It's been a while since I've seen you, but it's also been a while since I've been on live trading. But who is this character? Slide into my DMs. Tell me who you are. I almost said reveal yourself, but you know, like what is happening here? It's crazy. It's crazy. I need a minute. Can't believe that just happened. Oh, boy. Cool. Now I can't feed my kids because I'll trade at the moment. All right, let's go take a look at crude oil. Man, I used to love trading crude oil. The levels were respected. It was, nothing too crazy unless obviously you got news. Appreciate you, man. We've got some cool things working. Okay. I'm going to give you some insights, but I can't say too much because the contracts haven't been signed and I could get in trouble because then I lied to you guys. But we're working on some cool stuff, including a trading competition with a certain partner. And that trading competition would, have a solid prize. We're still figuring it out, but it would be in the 5 figures of a trading competition with a prize pool. And we would do the show about once a week. And it'll be like a 1-month competition for 3 months. So you get a chance to win every single month if you would like. We've got that in the works. We've got a boot camp to teach y'all how to trade futures in the works. We've got a boot camp on how to trade stocks in the works. We've got a boot camp on how to trade options in the works. We've got a boot camp coming up with Direction, which is an awesome ETF, a leverage ETF instrument that you can go ahead and use. We've got a boot camp with SIBO, Zero DTE options boot camp coming up as well. So a lot of education happening here at Benzinga. So make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you know exactly when those things are happening. And you're also welcome to email me if you have any suggestions on, hey, here's the type of stuff I'd love to see. My email address is Zunaid, my first name, @benzinga.com, because there's only one of me. Boy, I know my producer in the back is like, this guy's ego, I swear. But like, come on, how many Zunaids do you know? Where's the resistance on GME? Let's go and take a look at GME. I've got it charted at 38.23, which is what the market agreed with as well. As you can see, we tried to go above it and said, nah, come on back down, puppy. Now, in terms of the next support level, to me is about 27.82. 27.82, that's what we've got. Now, no one ever tell me, how do we get notified about these boot camps? That's a great question. We haven't put up the registration page because we haven't finalized dates yet. But if you would like, do me a favor, email me at zunaid@benzinga.com and just have the subject line notify when boot camps. And then in the body, just tell me what boot camps you care about. And then as soon as they're live, I will go ahead and send you the link so that you can go ahead and sign up. And that way you can get notified when they are live. And again, we genuinely love feedback. So if you have any feedback for shows, content that you want to see me beat Aaron Breeze, whatever. We also plan on doing maybe like a YOLO show for options where we just mess around and play with $5,000 in options and see how fast we can go to zero. Because not everything has to be educational, right? Sometimes you got to live a little. Speaking of living a little, AMC, the options that we purchased live on this show are up 8%. Don't ever tell me I'm not a profitable trader. They're up 8%, baby. That's how we pay the bills around here. The options that I purchased on AMC, by the way, are the $5 calls expiring at the end of May. I got in at $1.38, currently trading at $1.42 on the bid, up 8.7%. Could I post my email address? You bet. There you go. That's my email address until I, get canned, which I don't hope happens soon. But you never know. Junaid, I had my aunt who can't say Z's. A lot of Indians can't say Z's properly. She still calls me Junaid. And I'm like, all right, bro. She actually, you know what she did? And I promise we'll get back to stocks after this. I sent her a text because she needed some help with her computers. And of course, she reached out to me for IT stuff. And I responded back and I was like, hey, hello, my name is Zunaid. I was told you needed some help with XYZ. Here's 1, 2, 3 solutions. She responded back via text and said, hello, Junaid. And it's like, bro, my text clearly says Zunaid with a Z. Thank you, by the way. I just got 2 emails from the chat. I appreciate it. I just sent you a text that has my name as Z, and then you responded back with a J. Like, come on, man. I left her on red. I didn't care. Did not care. All right. Resistance continues to be met at the 18,600. We'll see if it does come back down enough at the 18,572 level. There's nothing wrong with how Indians speak. I'm brown. I'm just saying. My name is spelled in the text, bro. Like, come on. We need some background music while we wait for this. Okay, wait, hold on. There's a background music that's called Feeding the Ducks. I have no idea. I've never heard of this. I'm going to play it, and I apologize in advance if it's annoying. All right, it's not bad. I don't know why this is called Feeding the Ducks, but it's called Feeding the Ducks. We'll get going with all access here in just about 4 minutes or so. Let's see here. By the way, for the folks who didn't catch the earlier announcement, the interview is going to be with Bill, who is the founder and CEO of Dolphin Entertainment. Ticker on the NASDAQ is going to be DLPN. So stick around for that. That interview will be happening here in about 3 minutes, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Till then, we're still in this trade. Still in this trade. Looking to go ahead and take all the positions off here at 18,572. Awesome. Just got another email. We appreciate you guys in the chat letting us know what type of content you're hoping for, because that's what we want to deliver. All right, let me go and answer some questions and we can kind of get underway. GME. The GameStop mania. Okay, now look, here's the 38.23 level, right? The 38.23 level. You have resistance here. You had support, hold on here. Then you had resistance once again. Now, this yellow line for me that you see on my charts, that is VWAP, right? You can Google VWAP to kind of get more information on it. The reason I'm bringing it up is because you have VWAP and also the previous resistance right near there. So to me, that's going to be a little bit tough to get over. However, once we get over 38.23, once we get over $40, that's when I think you might have a better likelihood to be long. It'd be profitable if you're long. But again, as always, I'm not the one paying your bills. Do your own due diligence. Manage your risk. Hey, you're welcome. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and talk about that Disney trade that we were mentioning earlier, and then we can move on to all access here in less than a minute. Here's a Disney trade. You've got a gap to fill, right? I think when we came on the show, we talked about the put idea right around, what was it? Right around here at a 102.38 or so, or maybe like 50 cents higher. You fill that gap, $100, 99.42, I think is a solid area to possibly go ahead and get yourself in for a bounce. By the way, the AMC trade that we took, options are up 20%. Like I said, do your own due diligence. It's your hard-earned money at work. And let's go ahead and transition over to all access. Producer AT, it is all you to control things. And, you know, we've got a lot of things to talk about as well. Let's turn that music off because I don't know what that Feed the Ducks was. All right, my producer can go ahead and take care of that. But as I mentioned, we have Dolphin Entertainment, founder and CEO Bill, who's going to be joining us here in just a minute. And there's some interesting news that came out about them, right? They reported their Q1 earnings, which saw a 54% year over year, which is a record, to $15.2 million. And they also reported positive adjusted operating income as well. So great news coming from the stock. Make sure you guys hang out with us and let us know if you have any questions for me to go ahead and ask Bill. But formal introduction, we've got Bill, who is a founder and CEO of Dolphin Entertainment. Ticker on the NASDAQ is DLPN. All access starts right now. Bill, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. And, you know, you're all smiles because of the great quarter, I'm sure. And I'd love to dive into that. But for the folks at home that might not be familiar with your company, give us a taste of what it is that you do.
Sure. Yeah. Dolphin Entertainment. Well, we primarily market entertainment. We own a few different PR firms in the film and TV, music, celebrity chef area. And we have a very large influencer marketing company as well.
Awesome. And then let's talk about the quarter that you kind of had, right? A record quarter. Give us any insights on what kind of really fueled the success you saw there.
Well, we spent the last 6 or 7 years, ever since we uplisted to NASDAQ, building this group of companies. And we brought in the last one to complete the vision in October, a celebrity live event company called Special Projects. And I think what you're really seeing is the strategy paying off of the companies cross-selling with each other and some organic growth. It's been very exciting to watch.
You know, and this reminds me of one of those things where when companies initially make the investment, I'm not just speaking about you, but just in general, when we see companies make an investment into a strategy or a new strategy, they want to pivot because they see new opportunities, the market may react and say, they might be a little bit too short-sighted. But here, obviously, we're seeing it kind of pay dividends as well. Now, your strategy of focusing on the organic expansion with the launching of the complementary ventures that you have seems to be paying off as well. Can you elaborate a little bit on these ventures and how they're contributing to the success and the growth that you've seen? And of course, future plans. We'd love some insights on that as well.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, it's quite a week for us because we have a couple of them that have big announcements this week to go along with these record numbers for us. So one example of a venture that we're excited about is the fact that we have a movie in theaters in 2 days. Blue Angels is the first of our 50-50 partnership with IMAX. It's obviously on the Blue Angels, the Great Flying Squadron, the topic you can imagine in an IMAX theater, right? And we reported $3.4 million of revenue in Q1 from that, and it's already a profitable project for us.
I love seeing Blue Angels. I think it's such a great experience. Makes me want to kind of go out there and be a pilot and all these different things. But, then I have to kind of come back down.
And when you see these planes that are 12 inches apart with an IMAX camera from the flying squadron, it blows your mind.
Sounds like I need to figure out date night plans ASAP after we go ahead and hop off this call. Now, your recent launch of Stable Gin partnership with Rachel Ray is also some additional exciting news that you have. Give me more insights on how that came to be, but also how this is going to impact y'all in a positive way going forward.
Sure. It's an abundance of riches for us this week. Staple Gin is on sale now. Today's the day in New York State. Ships also nationwide, 43 states. This is a great story because it's really the prime example of why we put this group together, because we could develop products with our clients. And Rachel's obviously a signature client for us in the celebrity chef space. She might be the most well-known chef in America. And one of our PR firms, The Door, is the leading PR firm for hospitality in the country, restaurants, hotels, liquor, consumer products generally. So if you're in New York, everyone from Carbone to Rachel Ray and John George and so many others. And we ideated, when you think about consumer products that entertainment has influenced success, I think one of those consumer products is liquor. Everyone's aware of George Clooney and Casamigos or Ryan Reynolds and Aviation Gin. And as we were looking to start a portfolio of these for ourselves, we couldn't think of anybody better than Rachel, who is so well known. She's been on daytime TV for 17 years now.
100%.
And the fact that we started with gin, because as I learned in this process, gin's the one liquor that needs a recipe. And so Rachel wrote the recipe for her gin and then wrote recipes to cook with the gin. And then she designed a beautiful gin where we submitted it for ratings before it launched, which is highly unusual. And it received the highest rating from VinePair of any gin in the world. And, we go to market with it today. So we're pretty excited about it.
I just want you to know I'm taking notes on all the cool things you're doing, because I 100% expect like VIP access, some great treatment, all that stuff. It'd be really cool. I know you're with IMAX theaters in the future, Sphere in Vegas, boy, seeing you there would be epic, would be insanely amazing to experience. No question, which again, I want VIP tickets. I want to make that very clear. Let's go back to IMAX here for a second, because it's a multi-year agreement, if I understand correctly, right? And you have the other live events that are happening as well. Any more diversification that we can see in this content creation world that we are now in? Any other strategies in the pipeline?
Yeah, what we like to talk about is the spider web of opportunities. Just to back up a second, we have Hollywood's most powerful PR firm, right? 42 West. So we have the big celebrity division with the Tom Cruises and the Tom Hanks, but we promote content and every day, from James Bond to Top Gun to White Lotus. And so you can imagine access to our writers and directors, actors that may want to do other things as well. But then we also have the world's largest music PR firm, Surefire, with Bruce Springsteen to Chance the Rapper to Dave Matthews. And they're used to promoting music events too. We've promoted the Super Bowl Music Fest for multiple years now. And then of course The Door, which I was just mentioning, with the celebrity chefs and not just the restaurants, but also the live events. We promote South Beach Food and Wine, New York Food and Wine. So when you combine that access with the influencer marketing companies we've bought to help promote, and then in October when we bought the entertainment industry's leading celebrity event company, Talent Booking Special Projects, where they'll do everything from Fashion Week activations with Chanel and Gucci to the Motion Picture Academy Gala to movie premieres, etc. Then you can see what we now have the group assembled. We want to own some of the assets we're marketing, and it gives us an opportunity to launch consumer products like we just did today, or create some content that we put in with IMAX theaters, but also gets us into the game of events. And if you launch a food event in Memphis, you've got a certain chance of success. If you launch a food event in Memphis with a celebrity chef, with the nation's leading, PR firm around it, and can bring some both influencers and celebrities to it, you have a much better chance of success.
Yeah, I think experiences is definitely what's kind of taken over. That's where the money is going, especially when you have, like, for example, the NFL draft, right? You had over 750,000 people that were in Detroit watching that. So these are the type of things that people want to kind of experience with their loved ones. Last comment from you, I think you kind of mentioned it, but just to dive a little bit deeper, the digital department's recent partnership with Glow Lab and its establishment of a young adult division alongside. Give us, again, insights on what this partnership is and how it can further help the growth of your company.
Yeah, that's a great question. Back when I started in the business, when you said earned media, you meant only PR. Today, I think you mean PR and influencer marketing, and it's peanut butter and jelly. Influencer marketing is, to us, is the fastest growing area of marketing that there is. I think almost everyone on this show would know or recognize the power of influencers, right? And you couldn't launch a movie, a TV show, a restaurant, a hotel, an album without influencer marketing. And just look at what's happening with TikTok today. So with that said, it's certainly our fastest growing area, and influencers to a degree are celebrities in their own right. And so what we wanted to do was build the entertainment industry's largest influencer marketing management firm, and that's our mission. And we're pretty close now, and we're only going to keep growing it. So one way to grow, we're heavily invested in female influencers, especially on Instagram. We'd like to expand that to include YouTube and TikTok, and then also into other verticals. So the idea of launching a YA division, teenagers and young adults who are going to be primarily YouTube and TikTok, just made a ton of sense for us. And then there are so many examples of influencers who have launched successful consumer products. When Kylie Jenner became the youngest billionaire on Forbes, she's an influencer, and she launched a cosmetics line. Yeah. Beauty products, by definition, is a segment, or a product category segment, that does very well with influencer marketing. And we wanted to launch consumer products in partnership with our own roster of influencers. So we brought in January what might be the most under-recognized deal we've done this year. We brought in a group of influencers called Glow Lab that are multiple dermatologists and a very well-known YouTube influencer named Susan Yara, who market beauty products, skincare products specifically, online. And Susan's a perfect example of what we intend to do. She launched her own product, Naturium, in the summer of 2020, right during COVID, with only influencer marketing and PR to support it. That's it. And 3 years later, she sold Naturium this past fall to Elf Beauty for $355 million.
Wow. And
now she's joined Dolphin. And you can imagine, what are we going to do? We're going to launch skincare products.
Yeah, I love it. And, a couple of thoughts for me before we wrap this up. Influencer market, influencers, we're in this creator economy for sure. So we have, instead of just seeing actors and actresses on ads, you are now seeing influencers that are on there, even if they're trending for maybe 2-3 weeks. But if they're gaining that attention, the NFL just actually partner up right around the draft time with an influencer because he was being mocked on social media. But hey, he was getting the eyeballs. So they took that idea, took his talent, his likeness, and made an ad campaign out of it as well. You mentioned beauty. I've got a friend of a friend who works Swake, I believe, is a company where it's kind of like, when you go work out, the makeup doesn't fall off. So this beauty aspect of it, there's so many different angles to it. A lot of great things happening. Clearly, you guys are finding a lot of success with a variety of different directions. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank you very much. I look forward to joining again, I hope. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You bet. And you and I will talk about Blue Angels and the best way for me to watch that on IMAX. Thank you again for your time, Bill.
Good luck with date night. Okay. Bye.
You got it. Take care. That is Bill, who is the founder and CEO of Dolphin Entertainment. Ticker on the NASDAQ is DLP. And a lot of great things happening, but as always, do your own due diligence. Their quarterly numbers came out. Looks impressive to me. Dive into it, learn more about the company, and see what they're up to, not just today, but also what the plans are in the future with guidance as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on from Dolphin Entertainment. We've also now got another great interview lined up for you, this time in the EV space, in the automotive technology space as well. Let me go ahead and bring on Daniel, who is the CEO of Re Automotive. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. For the folks that don't know your company, aren't familiar with it, give us a quick insight on what is it that your company does.
Sure. Re is a tech company in automotive. We're the first and currently the only one who's been able to certify fully by-wire vehicle, basically a software-driven vehicle. Now, why is it so great? It's great because those vehicles have they're safer, basically due to the fail operational structure of them. They have better economics. They're more reliable. They've got over-the-air updates, and honestly, they're also much more fun to drive. We launched our very successful demo program in the US. We see growing number of fleets adopting powered by Re EVs, one of which I guess we'll be discussing later on today.
Yeah.
We have an extensive dealership network in North America for sales and service, strong growing order book. And in a nutshell, we build very, very advanced and very cool electric trucks.
Now, I saw your news that you released today, so let's kind of dive into that, where you partnered with Penske to launch the P7C EV trucks, which enhances your fleet in electrification options that are available. Give me some insights. What does that mean for the partnership, but also what does that mean for the bottom line for the company?
Right. So, like I said, today we announced really great news. I mean, Penske, who really knows electrification, I mean, they have almost 500,000 vehicles that they own and manage, and they have over 2,600 locations across North America, right? And now they're powered by Re. They've added Re to their lineup, and they're going to be offer those Re trucks, the one we call powered by Re, the one you see now on the screen, to their customers. Now, Penske, as I said, will be adding the powered by Re vehicles to the lineup, and that means that they'll be giving those their fleet customers the opportunity to demo those vehicles, experience the technology behind them firsthand, and of course the ability to order our truck. With the experience that Penske has, their ability to bring products to the market and their leadership, I think that will accelerate the adaptation of powered by Re trucks in North America. And we've been working a long time on that.
Now, the reason that I really love this announcement is because Penske isn't just a new name that popped up, right? I remember being in high school and middle school, you would see the Penske truck. So it's a company that has continued to establish themselves as a big leader in this space as well. Let's go ahead and talk about the future in terms of what insight can you provide in what the rest of the year will look like for your company?
Sure. We've announced customers over the past few months, following on the heels of the certification we accomplished in January. Now, with the first customer delivery is now underway and the demo program up and running, we also remain very, very focused on our business plan of the P7 lineup. So we have a few P7s, we have the P7C, the P7S, and others, but we remain focused on that medium duty segment. We received really great feedback from the demo program for those who are trying and experiencing the trucks. They're very different than what's on the market today. And we see growing interest, from the market. Now, what we're going to do for the remaining of the year is that we're looking now to convert those demos into scale orders. We already have binding orders in our order book, but now we want to take those also demos and create even more orders. And as more and more fleet experience our trucks, our superior technology, through those demo program, we expect to receive follow-on orders to allow us to grow deliveries to the low thousands of vehicles in 2025.
Yeah.
As we march towards our goal to deliver around 6,000 vehicles cumulatively between now and the end of 2026, when we'll be targeting positive cash flow. So I think, in a nutshell, we want to, start ramping it up now.
Now, you've clearly got orders coming in. You've got partnerships that you're building as well. I feel like there are a few other competitors in this space as well. And I love asking this question to kind of ask, what is it that kind of gives you the edge? What separates you from your competitors? What is the it factor of RE Automotive?
That's a good question. I think keeping it really, short and sweet, three things. One, we're a tech company. First and foremost, we're a tech company. We bring really advanced technology into the market, and it's a reliable, tested, and certified technology. And I think this is by far our biggest advantage, right? We're not retrofitting. We're not doing something that everybody does. That's the only one. Second, it's our go-to-market and basically our all the ways philosophy, if you'd like, of complete, not compete. We're trying to compete with others and not compete with everybody in the market by allowing us, to lift above our weight with that. Yeah. And you see us forming partnership with quite a few leading parties out there in order to give the customer the best product, but it's not a one-man's job or one company job. And it allows us to work with many other companies leading in their field, for example, Penske and others, in order to expand. Yeah. And I think, from an investor's perspective, I think one of our strongest edges is, if you look, at our history, we are very, very disciplined. We're disciplined in how we manage our cash. We're disciplined in how we are focused on target and how we accomplish our goals. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to, and I love the explanation, especially that we complete and not compete. I really do like that. I might have to write that down for myself. Last question for me. Every company, every relationship has obstacles, right? We deal with them all the time in the world. What are some obstacles that you see in the market for your company? But more importantly, how are you best suited to overcome those obstacles?
Oh, we don't see any. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, there are a few. Listen, I think that on the market side, we do see a slowdown in certain segments of the electrification of passenger vehicles. And though, we are very different from other EV players, being a true technology company, like I said, and let it focus on our core, I must admit that some of the other commercial EV players have scorched the market a bit, right? So with that, first and foremost, what do you do with it? So one, I think that people tend not to differentiate between the commercial vehicle segment and the passenger vehicle segment, especially around electrification. And I cannot stress enough how different they are. One example is, although we see a slowdown in the passenger vehicle segment, we see a very strong adaptation and growth in the commercial side. One, because it's not yet saturated. Second, there's a lot of pledging and commitment from large fleets to go electric and so on and so forth. And I think people should look at those markets a little bit differently. And we continue to see strong demand and even growing demand for electric trucks, especially in the medium duty segments, where there are healthy incentives, the infrastructure and charging is very mature, and the market is ready. Now on other fronts, I think with the little bit of scorched earth that we've got, I think what's important for us to do is to remain disciplined, to remain, to work even harder and build the trust with investors, customers, and to show that we're proving, that we are here to deliver on what we've done. For example, today's announcement, we've talked about our relationship with fleets for more than a year now, and everybody kept on saying, "Hey, when you're going to tell us who the fleets are?" And we said, "When we'll start delivering to them, and finally we can share." So I think, remaining focused, remaining disciplined, and continuing, to deliver, just old-fashioned delivering.
Well, I mean, hey, it's one thing to kind of just talk, but you got to be able to walk it. That's clearly what you've done with the news here today with your partnership with Penske to launch the P7 CEV trucks. Congratulations on that. I'm sure many more partnerships and orders to come, and we'd love to kind of be there when you go ahead and break the news. And we'd love to also maybe sometimes come over to the plant, check it out, maybe do an interview with the trucks in the back. That'd be some fun
We'd love
times.
to. Would love to.
You bet. That is Daniel, who's the CEO of RE Automotive. Ticker on the NASDAQ is REE. Daniel, thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And thank you, chat, for hanging out with us. And, I was keeping an eye on the questions. You guys were so busy talking about these different stocks. But we appreciate you for hanging out with us. And as always, we are here to deliver this information for you, the viewer at home. You can digest it, do your own due diligence as well, and make an informed decision on what's best for your hard-earned money. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.